good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the CVAL North Winter group stage. Today we have Waterloo Black facing off against York Black, and today we actually have the first broadcast of 2024. You hyped about it?
I'm extremely hyped about it, actually. You know, I've been itching to cast Valorant. I've been itching to see these teams throw it down once again in the new year. And speaking of new year, haven't seen you since New Year, Ronick.
I haven't seen you either. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're both excited to go into this. We haven't, I don't think, previously casted a Valorant Black game for Waterloo, so that's also really exciting to see, you know, a new team play. Nor I don't think we've seen York Black play either, so there's two completely new teams playing around, which is always really fun, like exciting to see how different teams play around different maps. Speaking of maps, the first map that we will be going into is Bind, which was York's map pick, and Waterloo chose to be attacking first. Yep. So yeah, I'm excited.
Choosing to attack first, actually, you know, a very confident, you know, pick, I would say. You know, like clearly, you know, I'm looking forward to the strats Waterloo has prepared. I think usually if you're planning to attack first, you definitely want to, you know, keep that tempo up, you know, take that first blood, as you say, you know, on the attack. So I'm looking forward to the strats they have prepared. And speaking of the New Year's, you know, do you have any New Year's resolution going on, or?
Honestly, I don't have anything like specific. I think my main one is just like be more active and get outside more, you know, because I'd be rotting
grass.
Yeah, like literally touch some grass. I've been rotting in my room for too long, you know. But yeah, one of the things that I'm kind of excited to see is with the recent Sky patch, or the recent Sky nerf, I'd say. She's been she's still being played a lot from what I've seen, but it's very different how her dynamic works, because having only 2 flashes available maximum for the round kind of prevents you from doing the default B-long flash that a lot of defenders like to do. And you already see, I don't know if York is going to stick with this composition, but they're opting to run, Gecko as well. This is like very unique. I feel like we never see Gecko from any team apart from Paper X, but Gecko, I think, fits in really well, especially because of that Sky nerf. But YorkU only having one controller on their side, while Warriors have 2 controllers, I think it plays out really well, because I feel like as an attacker, you want to gain a lot of space with that double controller. So we're just going to see how these teams choose to play out these different comps, how the Gecko will work out. I'm really excited for that as well.
Yeah, and the Gecko, like you mentioned, is very interesting because, you know, as with the Sky nerfs, you can't really throw those flashes around willy-nilly anymore. You know, before it's like a very great information tool. You know, oh, just check if they're going long, check if they're coming here. But especially now with the nerfs, it's harder to use those flashes like that, because you definitely need flashes on the retake. You need flashes on, you know, securing site even is just so much harder with the Sky nerfs. And I think Gecko is a pick that will be able to cover for that in some amount, you know, with the amount of utility he has on the entries. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that dynamic. And now we are in game.
Yeah, and again, Waterloo choosing to attack first is also very unique. I feel like most teams, they hear Bind, if they get to pick a side, they automatically pick defense because of how defender-sided it is now. But I feel like with those Sky nerfs, maybe Waterloo have something planned, because I feel like the default flash will not be thrown as much. It's still a really useful tool, especially because if you don't see them, you can dog through the shower. You can get information if they're going showers, and if not, you can just flood throughout short. And it's still a lot of information that can be gathered. But with the Geckos as well, I feel like, you know, throwing just the Dizzy up there to get information long also works just as well. And speaking of which, we are starting out the first round of 2024.
Yeah, and the first round of 2024 is going to be a very slow, play for picks, maybe play very slowly towards A kind of angle. And we see the Viper smokes are out, and we see Augie crawling into U-Haul here. You know, the Cypher is set up on the A side of the a little bit difficult, but the push is happening towards U-Haul. Swash managed to take out one, but now Augie has the control of U-Haul. Taking out Mando as well. Warriors Black have overwhelmed the site. The plant is going down.
The Spike's going to go down in triple, and the members of York are trying to call back in, and Belize is there to take the fight against Augie as he gets taken down. 2 players U-Haul, both a little bit, or Striker here, a little bit low on HP, but Warriors Black are playing it composed, but the grenade, the paint are going to find Swashy, the Frenzy, bullets at the end, take down both Luminal and P. That's going to be the first round going to YorkU.
Yeah, and I think the grenade is really what turned it there. I think, you know, in that 3v3, Waterloo had the potential to just set up on the bomb and choke out YorkU, force them to come out to unfavorable angles. But I think definitely that grenade into the push, making that a 3v2, really turned the fight there. And the pistol round is going to go for YorkU. Interested to see what they will opt for here. Looks like they're going for a hero stinger. No, they're going for a full judge stinger. Spectre. Is Zuma gonna buy something?
I mean, yeah, it's just like the classic,
Yeah,
but
this is the classic second round.
yeah, I'm hoping to see the judge like double satchel going into short. I think it would be a little bit troll to do that, but again, it's still really fun to watch.
Yeah, and we
Plays
see
like that
double
happen.
judge coming out from the side of YorkU, so very difficult for Waterloo to push into any tight angle here. We'll see what their plan is for now. Another slowish round, playing towards A, but you know. You gotta be careful here.
A little bit of
you
a
know?
sleeper round, but I mean, Waterloo, they do have those sheriffs at hand. They could make something happen, and Shocked is going to be the first one to take contact there. Does get tagged up a little bit, but Waterloo still playing so disciplined towards a short location.
So we're going to come out on top of Kimzo. He's going to be sitting inside of it. Looks like Waterloo does want to get a pick on this A site. Not a bad idea if you have sheriffs, you know, against these mid-range guns, short-range guns. If you have a sheriff, definitely possible. But now looks like Waterloo is going to look towards a B play. Do they know? Well, he's going to be waiting for there with a judge, though.
Yeah, I mean, if they're able to take down Malise, though, York might be in a little bit of trouble because they don't have very many players towards. But the judges, actually, shots are going to go wide. Paint shells come out from both sides. Malise is going to have to actually give up Luka, but Kimzo, with the lurk in showers, is actually able to take down Shock, and the players of YorkU are going to have to scramble towards the B site, but it seems like Waterloo going to want to take it back to A as Kimzo picks himself up a second and also gets the Spectre in hand. The spike is going to be going down, and now suddenly YorkU, they're put on the back burner, but they get a pick back as they take down Augie, and the spike does go down.
And it looks like Waterloo is all posted up near U-Haul. They really want to use that numbers advantage. The dog comes out, can't spot too much. Elise walks in there with a judge, but he's overwhelmed. Kimzo takes out 3. And it's all up to Zuma on YorkU's side. Jumping down from heaven. I think Waterloo has a general idea of where he is.
Oh, but look at
on the
Swashy.
flank, and a clean, not so clean shot. Zuma turns around, but Kimzo with a 4K that round. Definitely the MVP sneaking around A with that sheriff. Getting those picks was absolutely huge. Warriors winning despite that, you know, huge ego difference.
Yeah, and I mean, the play there from Kimzo was so perfect. I feel like the timing was great. The amount of pressure that Warriors put into Hookah there forced so many players of York to rotate because they were so confident that the players were going to go B, and that just allowed Kimzo to creep up, get himself 2 picks there on such low HP as well, and gets himself 4 on the round, and that's going to help Warriors secure the round against all odds, and now they're going to get a really healthy buy. They have 2 Phantoms, 2 Spectres, and a Judge in their hands. I want to see if Luminal goes for a double satchel, but the players of YorkU, they're going to be trying to creep towards, maybe take a fight Showers, but they're unfortunately not going to be met with any players of Waterloo.
Yep, York has opted for a heavy shower hold with, I think that's 3 people. Shower side, and Waterloo is going to be executed on the site. Luminal flies over a site. U-Haul is cleared, and now it's Waterloo has control of the site. Nice shot by Striker, but Augie takes out Striker immediately back. Luminal is holding U-Haul with the judge. That's why you buy the judge on Raze on the site.
Spike planted.
Lurking with the sheriff. Can't find anything for now. The utility is too heavy. Hugo managed to take out Augie on the flank. He has secured himself a Phantom going down on the site. And now, YorkU with the numbers advantage.
Yeah,
One more from Warriors Black going down.
One enemy
Actually
remaining.
Spot out Swashy, and it's now all up to Luminal, who unfortunately cannot stop the counterforce of YorkU, and they're going to take back another Thrifty round. I mean, Thrifty after Thrifty, it seems like these economy weapons are proving themselves to be super strong as YorkU bring it up 2-1.
Yeah, at this point, you know, maybe you should just buy a Sheriff, even if you have money. You know, that seems to be the name of the game, and I think that round, I really like how York invested heavily into that Showers push. So they know that they can't match a full frontal push from Waterloo with all the executes, with the, you know, with all the better guns, you know, going down A short. So they invest heavily in Showers, and they make sure that they, you know, secure control of some part of site.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I think it was it Nico or Striker that won that gunfight with the Sheriff in Showers, that it actually swung towards YorkU right there.
Yeah, I think Striker was the first one to get the pick, and now Waterloo, they do have a lot of guns in their hands still, and they are split around the map. They do have 2 players towards A, but the spike is heading towards B, as they do spot out 2 players on the side of York there as well.
Blind goes down, but York is still going to hold their position and long. Waterloo just testing the waters. Spike might be rotating back to A, Kimzo and Swashy. are also holding the short. They're looking for, you know, any semblance, any clue of what is to happen. The smoke also going down towards A. And Swashi is creeping. Inside the smokes are going to go down. Zuma can't find anything through the smoke, but it looks like Waterloo is going to start walking down short.
Yeah, and I think that none of the util that Shock on the Gecko actually he got back, so it's going to be really difficult for YorkU to take back that retake, but the pick on the Kimzo is going to be a really important one as the neural theft does go up, and the players in Waterloo Black are going to be spotted all towards B. They're going to have to speed up here if they want to take the site, but Shock's just waiting patiently
30
behind the
seconds
smoke.
left.
No players of Waterloo are taking heed of him, and Augie does take down Striker. But Shock is there to get another refrag in. Luminal quick to get the trade, and 3v3 situation. The players of Warriors Black are not too healthy, but the spike does go down. Actually, it doesn't. Police is there to stop it. Swashy trying to make something happen as he gets back one, but now it's all up to him. In a 1v2 situation, quick to make it a 1v1, but time is ticking, and there doesn't seem to be enough time for him to get the spike down. He doesn't know where the last player is, and unfortunately, that's going to be the round in the hands of York again.
Yeah, and that early neural theft coming down was actually pretty huge for YorkU. I think Waterloo was preparing maybe a fake into a fast B push or a surprise B push, but with that neural theft coming down, York, Shock hiding in that smoke on elbow. I think Waterloo was not ready for that much counterplay to happen B site, and ultimately Swashy is too far to support his team at the end of the day, and it is very close. But YorkU is going to take another round, pushing the score to a 3-1, and now we see, but on the bright side for Waterloo, they got Sheriffs. And historically, they've been winning with every team with the Sheriffs has been winning, so maybe this will be the round for them as well. Smokes being set up on A site by Waterloo. Moving out taking the towers.
I've got your trail.
The operator also in the hands of YorkU Black. It is towards B, but the Seekers are going to go out, spot out some of the players on A, and there's a judge in their Swashy. Don't get too close to that. The showstopper actually does connect to P as Melise takes him down, and Nico's there to get another, and the third comes in from Striker. The players of Warriors Black are just dwindling like dominoes, but Luminal tries to make something happen, gets himself a pick onto Melise, but Striker is there to trade it, and it's all up to Kimzo in a 1v4. He does have information on where some of the players are, but they too have information on where he is, and I don't know if he expects to Zuma, but there's so much ability, and the shot's going a bit wide, but Nico is there with the wall bang, and Dash is going to go out, but not really needed as YorkU Black to get themselves another round. And I mean, their defensive hold is looking strong, but the timeout here called on the side of Warriors Black. They're really going to have to figure out what they want to do on this attack, because it seems like it's really difficult for them to capitalize off anything that they're getting.
Yeah, I feel like Waterloo has definitely been lacking on these retakes, against the retakes. They managed to secure site. I think their executes onto site have been, pretty clean. They managed to secure the site. They get the plant down, but they have been folding time and time again to the retakes, and this could be the Gecko factor, right? The amount of, with the Skynerf, the amount of utility YorkU have on the retake is, quite significant, and I think Waterloo is crumbling, oftentimes to, maybe they don't expect that amount of utility coming out on the retakes, but I think they definitely have to re-strategize. And this fighting game arcade screen representing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the black.
I actually never realized that they made a whole skin based off this part. I don't know if that's always been.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's always been in the map, but it's a cool little homage to that skin as well. Yeah, it's really cool. But if you look on the side of Warriors Black, they do have 3 ultimates available this round, and they are forcing up. So they're really gonna have to make something happen with these ultimates as well. Otherwise, they're gonna once again be put on the back foot because they don't really have a lot of money to fall back on.
And yeah, York looking, much better for where
Don't let me down now,
this first half of the game if they can secure a lot of. The thing is, we talked about this, but on a defense-sided map, going 4-1 already is already a huge gain for YorkU. So if they can push this momentum a little bit further, they'll be in a really good spot going into the second half of the game. Now Waterloo's looking it up a little bit, taking up line here. The flash is going to come down. It's going to be a physical encounter. There's all the utilities being thrown onto the wrong side, but a trade goes down. Leaf managed to get 2, but it's traded out by Kimzo. Are they going to keep committing to B? Yes. Waterloo has managed to take the site, and it's now all the YorkU players are coming through CT. It's going to be a full-out firefight. Bird comes out.
Oh, but Kimzo!
But Kimzo simply guns down the YorkU forces running through CT. He holds down left click and finds everybody's heads.
Yeah, the suppressive fire coming in from P actually, I think, allowed Kimzo to do that because I don't think they expected him to be in that corner. And, you know, only the Phantom can hit that sort of spray as he gets down 3 players. And once again, Kimzo with 4 on the round, there to, you know, support his team. Like that, I think that ultimate 2 was super big from him. And, you know, Warriors, they do commit like 2 of their ultimates there. They committed the showstopper, which unfortunately didn't get any value. But Kimzo just going so big on the round, getting that insane spray down as well.
And I don't want to hear any more Phantom slander. You know, and all the 140 gang and all the 140 haters. You know, that is why you buy the Phantom. You know, as a part of the Phantom Club, right? The Phantom Fan Club. I do not want to hear any more slander after that round.
I mean, yeah, Kimzo just gave you guys a good rep there, but you see the players of Waterloo, they are creeping towards long. Contact is going to be made as Shock does take down P, and that's going to be the spike down. It seems like York is going to try and fight this. Maybe they swing with the satchel, and Believe actually finds himself one, finds himself the second, and Spike is going to be just taking down Fountain, and it's going to be up to Waterloo to get it back and try and make something happen. But things are looking bleak as all 5 players of YorkU are still standing.
Yeah, I like that decisive play. You know, they know they have the worst guns. They know they have the utility, so they swing out aggressively with confidence, manage to take out 3 from Waterloo. They have managed to secure the spike, but that doesn't make this round any easier as YorkU has the entirety of long locked down. Is Waterloo going to commit to this long push anyways?
I mean, yeah, look at the space from Striker. He's just all the way pushed through A's, just back in showers, and Malise goes for a jiggle, does find some information, but I don't know if they're aware of Shock. Close, finds himself 1 and finds himself the second. And that's just beautiful play there from York as they're able to take down every single one of the players of Waterloo down and long.
Yeah, and I really, like I mentioned, I really like how decisive York is being here. They're not scared to get aggressive on defense. As soon as they find an opportunity, they swing out with all the utility, they get the spike down. And Waterloo is forced to be on the back foot. You know, they're not going for extremely fast engages off these rounds, and I think York is actually taking, you know, advantage of the fact and making sure, like, okay, if they're split, you know, if their forces are split, you know, if they're like creeping up long, we can actually take these fights instead of, you know, giving them more space.
Yeah, and I think Waterloo is currently really struggling to get back into sight. Like, they had a lot of success before, but right now it doesn't seem like they're able to get into sight. And Luminal goes for a double satchel, but unfortunately, Shock is there to take him down. He does get the trade though, and that is going to be a Vandal down. Whether he tries to go for it is going to be pretty important, but you see Malise, he's pushed up all the way long, and the players of Waterloo Black, they're just sitting in hookah. I don't know if he hears the player jumping throughout mid into hookah. He knows that there's a player hookah now, and they start to flood out towards B side, but they are a bit aware of Malise's position. Unfortunately, the shots are going to go wide. He pulls out a showstopper, which connects with Augie, but not before the spike goes down, and now he is coming in from behind. I don't think Malise knows, and the Stinger actually just connects from a long range, but not before Malise takes down Kimzo. Seekers go out as well. Zuma trying to make something happen with the judge in the enemy Viper ult.
Last player standing.
Container, but it's going to be a 1v3 situation. Swatch has to make the best of this Viper's pit against the judge. It's so hard. 11 HP left. And YorkU checking their corners, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean,
you gotta, that's why you get the, you know, in the Viper's pit, you know, so it looks like they have a chance, but YorkU being very diligent as usual.
Yeah, and a
checking out those corners.
Very important showstopper call there from Malise. You know, he wasn't able to deny the plant, but I think losing Augie in the post plant there, especially when I'm pretty sure he did have his ultimate available, is going to be really important. But now, Waterloo, that wasn't an eco round for them, which they were able to get a lot of value off of. But of course, the players of York, they've been riding high in terms of economy, so they're still looking good. They do have the orbital strike available, whether they want to take it, you know, the default into U-Haul and push A, but it does seem like they are kind of leaning towards B right now. And, you know, Malise and Shock, they've just been holding down this B site like crazy.
And the name of the game is momentum. YorkU does look like the wind is on their sails at the moment. Waterloo making maybe wanting to take another full frontal fight here in long, and maybe to prove that, you know, you guys aren't, you know, you guys can't hold this site forever, but they opt to go for another slow play. I think Waterloo is scouting out their opponent. Is pushing out into sand, and Augie and Waterloo, are they aware of this information? With the 3 ults, they have
Bless you. Yeah, and it does seem like you know, Maliz and Shock, they are aware of the players going A. They are going to break the trip. Augie, you better turn around because they are coming for you, but unfortunately Maliz is there. Spike off the trade. Zuma does take down Swashy, and now the players of Waterloo are just kind of trapped and chill with Spike down behind them.
Yeah, and it looks so bad. They're getting surrounded on all sides. All the utilities
standing.
flying in their face. The dog
Trailblazer!
takes a huge bite out of P.
Oh no!
And it's all up to Luminal now, but it doesn't. It's looking very, very grim. Waterloo gets sandwiched and leads with a clean one-tap onto Luminal.
I mean, Zuma, encourage eating your vegetables. The Trailblazer just chops down on P, and that's going to be an unfortunate round for the side of Warriors. I mean, they were just completely boxed in that whole round, it seemed. It just, you know, a little sandwich of Waterloo Black, and YorkU was the bread to hold them inside.
Yeah, like that's not your dog, P. That's not your dog. You can't go bet that. You can't bet that one. And it's back on the eco for the Warriors Black side. 3 Stingers, 2 Sheriffs. A standard, a standard poverty buy from Waterloo. It's not been going too well for them. On these slower plays, P is sprinting into showers, guns blazing.
I think he was looking for the right, but he does find it. He tries to take a fight in hookah, but unfortunately, Maliz does have the Vandal advantage along with the utility shocked, and some shots are going to go into the smoke, actually connect with Luminal. But Augie, he's sneaking up with the spike. Does not spot any enemies, but might be able to get the plant down if the players of York don't contest, but the flank force is coming in again. Maliz and Shock have been so dominant on this point, but it seems like there to stop him. The neural theft does go out. Augie just trying to make something happen, scrambling around, bullets going left and right, but the bullet from Nico's gun is there to connect with Augie's head. As YorkU, they take themselves up another round, and things are starting to quickly snowball down this hill.
Perhaps Waterloo is trying to invoke the 9-3 curse. You know, they're gonna.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they're gonna win. They're gonna lose the next round and win the next one. They're gonna come attack and sweep the entire game after. Is that their game plan?
I think
Not
it
much.
could be.
They could be. It could be.
This goes here.
For now, YorkU looking very, very dominant. That was an eco round. Not too bad, considering the guns they had. Waterloo has bought up again. But again, like I mentioned, momentum. YorkU seems to be completely in control of this game, and Waterloo keeps getting sandwiched at this short. With the flank from Fox and Maliz, this happens every round. The dog is going to spot this long duo out, but is Waterloo going to commit further to this?
Yeah, and I mean, Maliz has just been getting so much value off of Shock's utility, but Waterloo, they haven't been able to counter that. Moshpit doesn't stop some of the push, but Augie does get tagged a little bit. Thrash does go out, and unfortunately, Augie is caught in the corner. Luminal does get a trade, but P with 2. The Shock is there to get the trade. Unfortunately, Luminal's showstopper does not connect all up to Kimzo, but no, Nico is there to stop Luminal and Kimzo. And YorkU, they take themselves up another round, 9-2.
Last round in
the
the
curse
half.
could still be invoked if Waterloo are able to win out this last round, and the money's not really looking their side again.
Yeah, Waterloo maybe rubbing their hands together, saying my master plan is coming to fruition. You know, attempting to invoke the 9-3 curse. But we see a Guardians and Bulldogs bot on the side of Waterloo. Obviously, it is the last round, but let's see what they can make with these guns. YorkU has been looking a little bit impenetrable. You know, Waterloo tries to attempt a long push. YorkU managed to trade them out every time. Are just going to dive forward.
No, not
the
Augie.
showstopper coming down to Augie is trying to sprint away from the RPG, but it's too late. That is the spike as well. And YorkU may be going to go on the offensive to try to guard this spike out. Swashy is hiding in the smoke, but the Moshpit is going to force him forward. Unable to find any kills. Kimzo going to go back for the spike, but the Guardian, this is too much. And YorkU just playing tower defense around the spike. The orbital strike coming down on top of Luminal as well. This is very, very dire for the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like all 5 players of York are sitting there, and unfortunately, he is concussed. He's trying to find a pick or 2, does find 1, but unfortunately, the 9-3 curse is not going to be invoked. We're picking up 10-2, and they just have so much momentum going into this attacking half now, and even with this double initiator, I think they're looking really strong for this attack as well.
Yeah, the double initiator, very interesting. You know, they could go for, and the thing is, all they need is 3 rounds. Right?
Yeah.
And if they can pull out some kind of unorthodox push, some kind of thing that can cheese a round or two, like, and get the momentum in their favor in the second half, it could be just all over for the Warriors. So they have to be very, very diligent in this defense round again. With the Viper, the Behold maybe going to be a little bit easier, but it looks like YorkU might commit to a B play, and if they can get the win here, it's going to be looking really good for them.
Yeah, this pistol round is really important for Warriors because if they lose this one, the next round is going to be really difficult to win as well, you know, against Spectres and Stingers and all that sort of stuff. So whether or not they're able to win out this round, it's really important.
And it looks like the B push is going to be happening on the side of YorkU. A very familiar angle. The sides are a little bit different this time. The utility flies into long, but Swashi is unharmed, and it looks like YorkU is going to sprint around to A now. More smokes dropped on Nico. He's going to be staying for a little bit longer. The cam spots him out, and he...
What a camera. I mean, that was quite the camera. I mean, I don't think Nico expected that, but I don't think Warriors expected this aggression coming into A so early, but Luminal, he's actually there, ready in showers. Does take down Belize. I mean, he's been quite a dominant force, and Zuma does take down P. The trade's going left and right, but it's still a 3v3 situation. The spike is down as well, and, you know, Warriors, they do have the flank from Keith, so he doesn't spot out the camera. Augie is going to take the first fight. Some shots takes down on the striker, but Swashi's there to help him out. The last push short, and Swashi does also take down the player on bench, and that's going to be a very important round for Warriors as they do take the first pistol of this defensive side for them.
Yeah, and I'm the Warriors right now. I'm breathing a sigh of relief, going, whew. You know, if
Oh,
they
yeah.
lost that pistol round, it was looking all over for them. But luckily, Warriors strong on the retake there as well. I think Kimzo winning that duel against Nico was very important. You know, Swashi getting that unexpected angle on Striker also very, very crucial to that round. But they managed to get a clean retake. And now Warriors cannot afford to lose any more rounds from this point, but they're looking to snuff out this eco from YorkU.
Right here.
For a shorty, maybe hoping for a U-Haul play. Perhaps?
I mean, they just have so many rounds to play around right now because they're still up 7, so even if they lose this round, they will have the rifle round after. Warriors, they're going to have to force up there because there's going to be really difficult bonus against that, but Maliz goes really aggressive, but Augie actually does a little loop around, and Maliz gets completely confused. Augie takes him down, and Luminal, with the paint shells, is able to take down Striker, but the spike does go down. Luminal finds himself a second onto Zuma, and shocked he has a stinger here. I don't know if the players of Warriors are aware that he's in U-Haul, though.
Last player standing.
And the Spectre is a better gun than
The shorty.
the shorty.
They do know that he is tucked into short, and the players might be getting a little too close. But Luminal, the headshot is more powerful as it does take down Nico, and Warriors, they're looking very happy off that. I mean, what happened U-Haul there? I saw Belize flying through the air and then a little switcheroo in positions. It seemed like Augie just completely bamboozled him.
Yeah, you know the Willem Dafoe like looking up.
Oh yeah.
Augie looking up at the sky like watching the rays flying over his head. But luckily, it's going to be Waterloo taking a round another round off YorkU, but Maliz, the standout player, has a Vandal in his hand now. So excited to see what's going to happen on the side of YorkU's attack. They're looking for another slow play, looks like, this time. Scouting out the enemy, but Bind, obviously, a map where you can't afford to rush into a choke point and get all gunned down. So
Blind comes out. He doesn't take down one, and Luminal's there to get down the second. That's going to be 2 guns back in the favor of Warriors, but they do know that 3 of the players of Warriors are actually towards the B side, and the A aggression does come in. Augie is holding U-Haul with the stinger, and he actually finds himself 1, but he's still left down to just a sliver of health, and Striker does take back down another pick. Does get caught by the tripwire, and Kimzo's there to swing off it. It's all up to Maliz now. He's in a 2v1 situation, but there's too many players of Warriors Black coming in, and that's just a very important round to get back in their hands.
yeah, and I really like that long play from Warriors. You know, it reminds me of what YorkU did last time, but even more aggressive. Warriors, that round is a statement from them saying that, you know, you guys aren't the only ones who can play that offensive, you know, that aggressive on the defense.
Yeah.
I think taking back those guns, that was amazing play by Waterloo, and it forces YorkU on this economy buy again. And Warriors looking very, very good coming into the second half now. You know, they were looking a little bit, the life looks like they look like the life is back in them now.
Yeah, I mean, that combo from Utility, you know, the Viper Orb that went down allowed P to throw the Guiding Light out, and that's going to blind both the players of YorkU. They're just unable to do anything there as they're just sitting ducks in. You know, 2 beautiful kills there that allows Waterloo to win the round.
And Zuma and Luminal are so close to each other, but they don't know. You know, Luminal doing a little dance. Zuma, if he clicks left,
Oh, wait, what? Huh?
P activating his third eye
I mean,
to
what?
secure that
Scout
kill.
destroyed.
This man is seeing things that even we can't see, from the observer perspective.
I mean, I don't even know where he shot him from. I think he was showers and then just do the wall bang. I mean,
Right there.
beautiful shot from P. That's going to be a big loss there from the side of YorkU. They do lose the flashes and the Trailblazer, and they do have still shock utility as he does pick up the Dizzy. And Spike is still towards B, but it doesn't seem like York want to go in just yet.
And it looks like YorkU is still taking it very, very slow. We see the Spike is still with the Brimstone. They're gonna crawl. Maybe Brimstone is trying to crawl into Hookah, but especially with a Cypher Viper hold on the B, it's gonna be hard getting in there.
30 seconds
In a
left.
fast manner, but it looks like YorkU is going to be going towards A now. Waterloo has not switched up anything. They're not doing any greedy rotates. They're holding their position. One U-Haul, one main, one showers.
Well, Luminal does get spotted out by Malizer, but the Sheriff shot isn't there to connect. And it seems like York, they don't have a lot of time left. The Spike is going to be thrown out in the hands of Wingman, but the plant is going to be denied. Now York have to plant this themselves, but Augie is there with the Phantom and U-Haul. Nico does take him down, but there's just no time left for the side of YorkU, and they're going to try and maybe get some guns, maybe find any frags. They can Spike down, and Malizer actually does take down Kimzo as well. So even though they do lose that round, they do a little bit of economy damage, and now Waterloo, they're still really healthy with economy, it seems. I mean, they can all buy, but that's going to be a really big round in the hands of YorkU. They do pick themselves up some guns and a lot of money off that too.
Yeah, very good attempt and a very good execute on the side of YorkU, playing on that back, but they managed to secure the site and force a lot of guns out of the hands of Waterloo that round. And now this is perhaps one of the most important rounds of this game, where both teams are on the full buys. Waterloo, healthy economy, but can't afford to make any more mistakes. And now it looks like YorkU, with the full arsenal in their hand, is going to be going for a straight A short take with 4 people. Utility is being thrown out too fast. YorkU is the only one going towards shower. He's up with 2 people. Very, very careful. Make sure not to push into that smoke. And it looks like YorkU, still hovering around short. Waterloo has now sent the order out for the rotate from the Viper to come down. Everybody is slowly converging towards this A site. Orbital strike coming down, forcing P to run out of there. Manages to escape,
Runs
however.
the guns out and does not find anyone with weapons. But Belize is just caught staring at the floor. The blind, unfortunately, ruins his trajectory. Augie takes him down, and Kimzo gets himself another. The Spike is going to be down. Augie finds himself another one on the round, and Kimzo and Augie just there to clean it up. Warriors Black, they get themselves up, and they're starting to get the snowball back in their favor. They're pushing it up. I mean, maybe they're looking like Sisyphus, but I think they might actually make it to the top.
Yeah, I mean, Sisyphus, what did I say? One must imagine Sisyphus happy.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I think
one
Waterloo
must imagine Waterloo happy as well to have secured these rounds. I think definitely, like we mentioned, after those decisive gunfights, after that decisive economy battle, they get a flawless. They managed to pull off a flawless round against YorkU, and the ultimate economy is actually looking better for Waterloo as well. So this will be Waterloo's round to lose. I think going into these next 2-3 rounds, if YorkU cannot secure the momentum back in their favor, I think it's looking very good for Waterloo.
And we see a big push coming into Hookah, and Swashy is going to be met with one player on the side of YorkU, but we still seem a little bit deterred from Hookah before they can get any information. It seems like they're not going to find Kimzo's camera, which is still there. It's actually in spawn, but they're still playing it super slow. Waterloo, they know that they can play it slow as well. They're just tucked all the way back inside. They're not giving any fights either.
And with a map like Bind, you never know where the execute is going to happen until the last second. And we see York is getting ready to push onto B, but then they, but Bind is a map again where you can go, oh, maybe not, right?
Yeah,
oh, maybe not. Maybe we'll go A, maybe we'll teleport, maybe we'll walk around again. But especially that's why diligence is very, very important on the side of defenders, and Waterloo practicing extra diligence here, making sure they don't overcommit to any site, making sure they got all their angles on lock, smokes being thrown defensively at the right timings as well. And I think YorkU is just going to be skirting around looking for opening.
30 seconds left.
But I mean,
this is pushing out on
yeah, and it seems like Warriors have been some shots going to go out from Swashy, but unfortunately none of them are going to connect. And YorkU, they have all of B site to themselves now as the players come flooding in. Waterloo, it seems like they're going to have a retake, but the Spike is actually denied, coming down onto the orbital strike. The time is ticking, but YorkU, they have to get the Spike down.
10 seconds
There's so
left.
much utility coming out, but the ultimate, unfortunately, from Luminal does not connect, but Maliz is there to connect. And now YorkU, they have 5 players standing still, 2 players left of Warriors Black, and I mean, the fake has just been so perfect
Last
from them.
player standing.
And Waterloo, last on the side of Waterloo managed to get a kill, but is traded out by Nico, and Waterloo have been absolutely bamboozled. They've been deceived. You know, they did not expect this backstab coming from York, and it looks like, you know, in this very careful dance to, you know, find out where the attackers are coming, Waterloo makes a misstep and completely gives a B site to 4 players of YorkU, and they're ready with the utility. They're ready to hold this site down. And a crucial round from YorkU, maybe that can swing the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, they do have so much economy still to fall back on. Waterloo, they still have full rifles, full economy, and they did commit some ultimates there. Luminal and Augie committing both of their ultimates, so they do only have Kim's ultimate now. But Shock, he does also have the Thrash available, and it seems like they're once again going to start towards the B side.
And Cage is looking very confident on his play now. The Cypher is going to be locked in the site. Kimzo is going to force out of Hookah with the grenade.
Cage trigger.
Going to capitalize on this opportunity. Kimzo, Cypher hops back into Hookah, and now it's going to be the flash comes out. Kimzo manages to get a shot out. Nice calm reaction from Kimzo. Giving up Hookah, however, he's also going to be backing up. YorkU maybe deciding to have traded mobility here. The play comes out, Zuma just flash down onto B site, and we see 3 people on Waterloo on the side of B again. And it looks like Luminal is going to be spotting out Nico soon. This battle might decide the round.
But Luminal talks at the perfect time. He does want to take this peek, though. Nico's on the other side, but unfortunately the Phantom is going to reign superior there. As he does take down Luminal, that's going to be a big pick towards A, and the Seekers are actually committed towards B, but it's all a fake once again, and it seems like the players of Waterloo, they're not too aware of this as they start rotating towards B, but the spike is still towards A, and it's all up now to Augie, but...
Oh my god, what a shot from Striker!
I mean, he does not want to get that spike down without taking off the head of Augie first. And now Warriors, they're left with only 2 players in this retake situation. They don't have a lot of utility combined as well, because they did commit a lot of that to B, and YorkU, they have such a comfortable post play here.
Toxins going up.
Yeah, and with Swashy and Swashy and T, the only one on the side of the Warriors, and the Cypher trying to set up on the site is looking very difficult for them. YorkU has
screen down.
deep knowledge of where Warriors could come from. They're just also a flip player here.
Last player
Swashy
standing.
is traded out by Nico. It's all up to
enemy
T now in a
remaining.
1v1 situation. Molly is gonna come out. That Striker knows,
But he can't get around the Molotov, unfortunately. And the spike detonates, and now it's match point. YorkU. I mean, that Molotov was so clutch. I think that there was a little gap he could have diffused from, but I don't think, you know, in a moment like that, he tried to go around, but unfortunately he couldn't. And, you know, P's going to be taken down to that Molotov, and now YorkU bring it to match point. Waterloo, they still do have a lot of economy to fall back on. They have so many rifles still in their hands, and a judge on the side of both sides, maybe? Potentially not, but, you know, Malise, he does have that judge in hand, and Waterloo, they seem to have been getting duped out. I mean, so many fakes are coming out from the side of YorkU, and it seems like Waterloo just has no read on them anymore.
yeah, and P, you know, they haven't played enough games of the floor is lava. It's like YorkU is going to be flooding out onto long. The utility is there, the mosh pit is there to stop. Sorry, not the mosh pit, the Viper's snake bite is there to stop York's push. But it's still 4 people on the side of YorkU, but Warriors looking a little bit skeptical to rotate to B.
I mean, look at the push there coming in from short. They know that there's absolutely no one here, and Kimzo's actually going to be the first one to take down a pick as he takes down Zuma. Zuma does also get the neural theft, and now Waterloo has all the information they need. I mean, look at this flank coming in from T and Luminal. They know that the players of York are just all coming towards B. They're able to pull out the Seekers. Unfortunately, the Stinger shots go wide, and Nico does take him down, but Luminal's there with the trade. Swashy unable to stop the teleport as the players of YorkU, they just get the teleport out, but Augie, he's there to meet the player. Shock.
Last player standing.
Tries to make something happen. Striker fights back as well, but Warriors Black, they get back up, and they're able to get themselves around, stopping a little bit of momentum that YorkU was starting there.
Yeah, and I liked how, because Warriors were getting bamboozled, you know, by these YorkU plays, the aggressive play on short actually pays dividends there. You know, they can play confidently knowing, you know, where York is playing. You know, like, they haven't, like you mentioned, they've been getting duped by York's fakes, and they're kind of calling their bluff now. They're saying, you know what, it's going to fake around here to play passively. We're going to take a bit more of an aggressive angle as soon as they see on the other side to get this information out. You know, to make sure, you know, like, to not over-rotate and not to commit too hard to a site they know that York isn't playing at.
I mean, now York, they do not have the weapons to fight against Warriors, but, you know, they've been keeping a healthy economy, so they do have some, you know, hero buys, a sheriff, maybe somewhere here and there. And the Trailblazer, I mean, Brimstone and those gigantic legs, they block the Trailblazer's path, and unfortunately that's going to be a lot of information denied. A little bit of a misplay there, but actually the paint shells go so big there. Luminal gets a lot of damage off onto Shocked as well, but the players of YorkU are falling apart, and he does have something going on, but Luminal's fighting throughout showers, and there's only one player left, and Shocked, and he's taken down at the same time Nico is, and a flawless round coming in from Warriors. They're really happy with that one too. They did not want to give up any guns there.
Yeah, like you meant, that grenade was absolutely huge, and a little bit unfortunate coming from you know, Zuma's dog getting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, Brimstone has been hitting leg day.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no entry through the through those legs. You know what I mean?
And yeah, but it looks like now from the side of York, they're going to have a full buy. Except for Shaw, he got a bulldog. He's different like that, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could maybe make something happen with that. You never know. So, Bulldog is still a really powerful weapon. You know, that right click, one burst can catch off surprise, and Thrash goes out, clears out so much information. Actually, is taken down though, so he isn't able to clear out all of U-Haul, but I think YorkU might just want to commit here fast. They do have so much information still. None of the players of Warriors are really contesting. The orbital strike goes out, forces Kimso out of his position, but Augie and Luminal, they dare to fight back. Luminal, Showstopper goes a little bit wide, but he does get a little bit of damage off still. The players of York, they know where he is, and he just gets flushed out of there. Kimso does get a refrag, and Augie is there as well. It's now all of them shocked. He does have Thrash available, but the Trailblazer is going to catch him out. Augie's pushing in with some low HP, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to get anything. He's vulnerable. I think Shock just wanted to get that Thrash off, make anything happen there, but Swashy jumps in with the shorty. Does take him down, and Warriors, they are closing the gap now. It's only 2 rounds that they're off, and they might be able to bring this back if they're able to get back this round as well.
Yeah, and York is back on the economy buy. It looks like a reoccurring pattern this second half. It's gonna be York, rifle eco, and Warriors has been doing a very, very good job. You know, they got deceived a little bit at the beginning, but they seem to have found their pacing. A very decisive victory again and again, round after round. So, looking very good for the Warriors going here. And again, diligence. You can't give up one silly round, a cheese round to the York, and that could be the end of the game. So Warriors have to be very, very careful. They're going to spot out 1 or 2 on this long play, go immediately on the defensive. And York looking to take this 1 round from the hands of Waterloo.
Yeah, I think Nico and Shock are just trying to see if any of the players of Warriors get aggressive on board again, but Washington has so much stopping power. He's actually not going to find Zuma there. Although he is vulnerable, does pick up a Phantom and gets himself the orb as well. He does hand it back to Striker because he does have lower HP, and Kimzo, he does have this cage to play around, and the little angle does spot out Mali's headshot onto him. And now the players of YorkU, they're going to have to rotate because I don't know if they're going to want to push into B site with the Cypher and the P there as well.
Kimzo with the information, looking for a bit of an aggressive play, but Striker manages to come out on top, and
I know exactly where
Healing over here.
Coming down from the side of Waterloo now. They have complete information of where, from YorkU, and they have complete information
30
of where Waterloo
seconds left.
is. They're going to be running on to the B side. P is sitting in the smoke. Is he going to get any kills? Augie, but an aggressive play from P takes out Zuma, but it's looking very, very dire for the side of Warriors. 3v1. It's all up to Luminal now. The spike is down, and York, not trying to give them any opportunity, has committed to a full long hold for the spike.
Yeah, and the camera is going to spot out Luminal, but he does have full utility to work around here. It's going to be really tough, though, with the amount of utility that YorkU also has on their side. Dizzy's going to try and spot out something, but Luminal does find one with the paint shells. He knows that at least one of the players is long. He's completely given up hookah, but Does he know the last player is there? But no! The Molotov couldn't be the catalyst once again. I mean, time is ticking. There's just nothing Luminal can do. And unfortunately, Striker
Attackers
takes
win.
down the last player of Warriors Black. Luminal falls. That's going to be Waterloo Black's first run ended there on Bind. I mean, things were just so close there towards the end. Waterloo, they were fighting back, you know. Against all odds, it was a 10-2 half, and they were still able to finish 13-10. But I think those few rounds that York was able to get on attack, where they just, you know, they had Waterloo red, they had him pranked completely. They thought they were going one side, but they went the other, and they were able to take the sites really efficiently there. So I think applause to them for that, being able to bring it out on attack. But, you know, going into the second map split, I think this time the Warriors are starting on defense, which is going to be pretty big for them. Actually, no, I think this was the Warriors pick split, and then YorkU was more comfortable on Bind. So again, they still fought back really well. It was very important. But yeah, we're gonna cut to a quick break now before we get into the second map, which is split. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to another CVAL North game. We are back. Last round, it was Waterloo Black versus York Black, and we saw that first game go to York's side after a very, very back and forth game. It looked very dominant for York there. Waterloo coming back in the second half, but York managed to close out that game. And, you know, I've been actually practicing my York Lions roar.
Oh, yeah? Thank goodness you are not the mascot, because I do not think you are getting us out of the jungle with that one, unfortunately. But, you know, going into the second map, the York, they're looking comfortable, you know. They are going to be starting on, I think, defense this time. Or, sorry, they're starting attack this time. So it's going to be a big pick as well. I think Waterloo, they've practiced split a lot. We've seen Waterloo Black, you know, I've seen them play split. They have pretty dominant hold, a lot of them, especially you've seen like utility from Kimzo. He's just so strong on that Cypher, able to get so much value in so many rounds with, you know, his lurks, his utility. So I think a map like Split has so much play around a Sentinel like Cypher, like Killjoy, like the Sage, but especially that Cypher because the amount of information that Trips gives. So going into the agent select here, we already see, you know, Luminal Swashi keeping the same roles going. Maybe they might opt for honestly the same composition here, but we already see something different coming out from the side of YorkU Black. This time it's going to be Shocked on the Cypher instead of Nico, and Striker on Omen instead of Brimstone.
Yep, and the pick, like you mentioned, the pick to look out for is Kimzo on that Cypher. You know, we haven't seen a pick yet, but once it does come out, we are going to be seeing a very important Sentinel battle from the side of Warriors. And like we said, the Kid Cypher is locked in, and it looks like the team comps are going to be almost identical to last round. We're going to have to see what Warriors' last pick is going to be.
I think it's still going to be the Omen.
Would it be Omen?
Yeah, because I feel like Brimstone on this map is just not strong.
Yeah.
You know, not having those regenerative smokes is like something really important, especially on a map like Split where you just want to have as much control as possible on either the attack or defense side. And one thing that's actually very different between these two compositions is that it seems like YorkU, they never ever choose to run like a double controller. They always seem to run double initiator, because this time they're bringing out the Breach, and I think Breach is just one of those agents that I absolutely hate playing against personally. I think it's just so unfun when you get Aftershocked and the fault line comes towards you, and then, you know, let's go, and then you're flying in the air. There's absolutely nothing you can do, but, you know, double flashes as well. I mean, that's scary. So YorkU, they seem to have planned out this composition, especially for if they start attack first, because, you know, you want to have that double initiator sort of offense going. And Waterloo, again, they're starting on defense this time, so they might be able to shift the momentum in their favor this time around.
Yeah, and especially, you know, when you're on the defense and you see that Aftershock come through the wall, and you hear the raise grenade coming over top, you just got to sit there and watch it. You know, I've had a good life, right?
Yeah, I've had a good life. I mean, that's just how it feels like to play against a Breach in pretty much any scenario.
And yeah, I mean, I think definitely, you know, especially with York being on attack first, we're going to have to see the Breach make some crazy plays, you know, to snuff out these Cypher trips, to snuff out, you know, the people who are going to be holed up in the back of the site with a camera. And I think Breach is going to be the element to look out for here.
And it seems like Kimzo is going to actually start towards the unorthodox Cypher site, which is A, which might actually be a positive read for them, because it seems like the side of York want to take it aggressive towards A main here with the Omen Paranoia and the satchels coming in from Elise.
Yeah, and on pistol round, bullet is important. You know, shooting those people at the Cypher camp could be fatal, so maybe switching it up towards A is the smart play here. Melise has managed to make his way up onto a ramp, but there's a big green wall.
And maybe he might want to take some contact here, but things might get dangerous. I don't know if he does know there are players available. Go for the Trailblazer. Zuma's Trailblazer is actually going to spot out Swashi as well. And the players of YorkU, they seem to be going straight into this rope location and converging into A heaven, but there's only two players from Waterloo there to stop it. But unfortunately, they are going to be taken down. Now, the players of YorkU, they are still not looking too healthy, but the regrowth is going to bring back Nico to full health. And now, Waterloo, they are able to get back another pick.
Elise gets a kill on Nico, who was going to fight down. Nico managed to get another kill. Is he going to get another? No, and YorkU manages to take the pistol round yet again. And that round was very, very key, I think, from YorkU, was that heaven squeeze from two angles. You know, I don't think Waterloo was expecting, you know, everybody to flood down ropes while the ramp push was happening on the other side with two people. I mean, I think after that play, York managed to secure the site. And, you know, Cypher, if he's playing at the back, away from the gunfight with all his utility, very, very powerful. But once YorkU was on top of them, it was a bit unfortunate for Kimzo.
Yeah, and I think that push was really important from middle, because I don't think there was anything Waterloo could have done to stop it. And, you know, getting as many attack rounds as you can on a map like Split is so important. So YorkU taking that pistol and potentially being able to take this force round as well is going to be really big in their favor.
And we see Luminal hiding. And a flash out, an aggressive play onto mid. Maybe has heard that. And Luminal is caught with his knife out against the Bulldog. No chance that's ever going to happen. Waterloo has taken control of Heaven, but that means YorkU is all over A site, and we'll have to see what happens when 3 members of Waterloo are coming down ramp.
And Kimzo might be able to find someone, but actually it's going to be Augie. That spot's shocked all alone in A short there. And there is going to be a weapon, I think, in their hands, but whether they're able to make something happen with it is going to be up to the utility. And the hold from York is looking so strong. None of the players really want to give up. It doesn't give a flash. Swashy able to find himself too, but the players of York are taking down the players of Warriors. And now Swashy left with only 34 HP, and YorkU, I think they just have this round in the bag. Whether Swashy wants to find a pick or not, it's going to be undecided, but there's Nico with the headshot on, and that's going to be a big round from YorkU. They take down the second, but they do lose 3 members on the attack side as well.
Yeah, and this is when it matters again. We see that YorkU has the 2 Bulldogs up still. Waterloo is, of course, opting for a full buy. Cypher is going to keep playing A. So the site YorkU decide to push here actually will matter a lot, especially if it's going to be exclusively, you know, the Cypher triple exclusively set up A. He has gone for more defensive wires because YorkU does like pushing onto A very aggressively. But it looks like the Omen has brought the spike over to B side, and there's going to be a quick match there. Omen from the side of Warriors running back onto B. Maybe they saw the spike?
Yeah, I think Augie on his jump peak was able to spot maybe 1 or 2 players of YorkU and then back up. And Zuma trying to make something happen with the Sheriff does actually tag Augie a little bit. I don't know if it's from that shot or earlier, but Augie does take a little bit of HP off of him, and just jiggle peeks going in on all sides of the map, but no one's really going to get any value off damage-wise.
Another careful dance happening in this split map, of course. So YorkU is trying to prod around, try to find an angle where Waterloo is vulnerable. And it looks like now the play is going to be towards Rope Swashy, of course, holding it with a whole Phantom. So it's going to be a battle of who sees each other first. He has a little bit of support on Heaven as well from Luminal.
And this crossfire could be devastating. YorkU caught in the middle of it, but the paint shells are actually going to swish out Swashy there. And now Luminal, he's put back in a position and he doesn't really make anything happen, but the shot comes out from Belize, and that's going to connect from the Swashy. Really nice shot from him there. It wants to take aggression into Heaven. He does spot out Luminal, and now Kimzo, he's all alone on this A side, trying to find a pick. He does find one. Belize gets taken down, and actually the tripwires are going to be so helpful. He, though, does get caught alone, but Augie is there to get the trade, and Warriors, they lose 2 players, but they are able to finally get themselves on the board.
Yeah, and that definitely shows the value of the Cypher, especially, you know, when you're on a time crunch, when you have to execute fast, when you don't have time to meticulously sweep out all the trips. You know, that is the power of the Cypher there, and it's because how, you know, because how close to site those trips are set up. When YorkU floods in with no time, it is Kimzo and, you know, it's all over for them. It's Kimzo and Luminal set up on the site. And I think YorkU, now that this slow play isn't working, you know, maybe they're going to go for a fast B push. They know the Cypher isn't playing B. So maybe this is the execute for them. We see everybody on YorkU, except for the Cypher. You know, you got to work with Cypher, but this could be the round for them.
Oh, and Augie does get tagged up a little bit on the jiggle, and the players of YorkU are going to capitalize off that damage, and they do have so much utility available here on the side of A. I mean, their Cypher is just all alone A, but here comes the fault line, and Augie's going to be caught all alone. I mean, that aftershock that we spoke of previously, and P as well, caught up by the paranoia, and it seems like York have just effortlessly taken this B site. That Cypher not being there to delay with those tripwires is just going to allow York to take the site, get a really open plant as well, and Shocked tries to go for a bit of a lurk, but Swashy, he is aware, and he does take him down.
And YorkU going for a very defensive play. Signal is going to be peeking out of main. Jumps off of Heaven. The retake is happening right now. Nico does not see Kimzo. Oh no! Nico managed to sneak up and just get a 2, but it's taken up by Maliz. And an
Actually,
ace!
the ace! I
For
mean,
Maliz. We didn't even see that happen, but Maliz has dismantled Waterloo. An amazing round for him, and this also gives him showstopper.
yeah, that's going to be really important. I mean, we saw him entry there and take down Augie, but I think after that we didn't really see the kills that he got, but putting himself on the board there, 9-2. I mean, he's just been a dominant force on the side of York. He's just been getting so much aggression, so much value with this raise pick on both maps, and seems like, you know, YorkU, they're looking really happy on this attack side so far, because Waterloo, they're forced on an economy round, and now, you know, York, they have all the rifles in hand that they need, so it's going to be hard for Waterloo to fight back if YorkU get this sort of, get this defense dismantled. But actually, before I can even speak, Swashy takes down Zuma with a really clean headshot there. And now the players of York, they're a little bit trapped here in market as the forces from Waterloo are colliding into their position.
Now it's going to be an all-out fight on mid. Shocked is watching sewers, but there's going to be a lot of tension happening around here. YorkU still playing slow, making sure that they have swept out all the angles. Nobody is on ropes on the side of Waterloo, and we see that Kimzo is going for a long flank around T here. And Luminal,
Oh, there
does he
might
know
be a
this
fight.
is coming?
There
Does he know
might
this
be
is coming? Or not Luminal, does Maliz know this is coming?
Oh, Maliz looking to trade out some shots. He's left down to just 50 HP. Kimzo, he's stuck behind this cage, but I don't know if Maliz is aware of his position. I mean, fights are going down around B main, but it seems like damage still in the favor of YorkU. But before I could speak on that, Kimzo does take down another as well as Swashy. He's just been so clean with the sheriff, but the neural theft might bring things a little bit back in the favor of YorkU.
left.
They do get the information they need, and they know that Kimzo, he's the only one here on this A site to contest. And Shocked, he knows that he has to be tucked somewhere around here.
The cage.
Oh, not the knife. Oh. Oh, but the Phantom is there, and Kimzo is taking down YorkU. They're going to be able to get the spike down, but unfortunately for Shocked, the Stinger is just too much. As the spike goes down, Swashy, he is aware of the position that Striker has. And Striker tries to fight back with the paranoia, but unfortunately Swashy, he has that sheriff, and he was just so clean with it that round. I mean, that first pick, the second pick, and the third pick, they were both so important there. And a big thrifty round coming in from the side of Warriors. They're looking to get the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, very nice try from Swashy. Very nice try there from Striker to get that last stand in. But Swashy, like you mentioned, absolutely dismantling York there with that sheriff there. And I think especially when that big flank from Kimzo also came around and Maliz lost that fight, that was a bit unfortunate for the side of York, because that meant they didn't have enough bodies to kind of move around and scout the sites.
Yeah.
But you know, definitely a round that Waterloo desperately needed.
Yeah, and I think that even though Maliz went to clear that flank, I don't think he was 100% like certain that there could be a player there. So I think Kimzo was able to catch him off guard, and getting himself that pick was really important as well. But now Waterloo, they do have the gun advantage. YorkU, they are in an economy round. The paint shells are going to take down one of Kimzo's tripwires, but there's still the other one in contact. And now they're looking to spot any players of York towards A, but they're playing so diligently. The camera is actually going to spot out Shocked, who is, I think, the only player with a rifle on the team right now.
Right, and the Viper wall goes up as well. Onto A, Nico manages to get the kill onto P with a stinger. That could be very huge for York. Kimzo gets a spray down through the smoke, but now the spike is planted. This is Waterloo's spike to retake. And Zuma holding ramp. Swashy is trying to wallbang. You know, potentially scout out some of the Viper wall. But the showstopper comes out from the side of Luminal, diving onto site, takes out Striker, and Waterloo sells York in one sweep. Zuma gonna be the last one on the side of York. Nice try. But Luminal managed to secure another kill, and it's going to be 3-3.
And it just seemed like Waterloo were so quick on that retake. I mean, 3 players of YorkU fell in the blink of an eye, and that's going to be the beautiful retake that they needed there, putting themselves even on the scoreboard, 3-3. But the rifles back in the hands of YorkU. They're going to want to make something happen. But Maliz, I think he's opting for using the showstopper and the judge this round. I mean, the showstopper there from Luminal last round was really big. We want to see if, you know, Maliz is able to replicate that sort of energy.
Yeah, and Maliz has been holding on to the showstopper for a while after his ace round.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they're going to look for another play, you know, a breach aftershock into.
Oh, he's going early.
Oh, he's going. He's
the
setting
play's
it up.
Oh no, Waterloo! Waterloo, watch out! Wait, there's no. Wait, where's the showstopper? Wait, what just happened?
Meliz has flied into the site, but he crucially forgets to pull out the most important part of that execute. Very, very unfortunate for YorkU. I think that was the play, that was the wager they were going for that round, and now Waterloo has control of the site. YorkU looking a little bit lost now on what to do.
Yeah, and I mean, that could have been disastrous for Waterloo. They might have potentially lost 2 there, and unfortunately for YorkU, he does actually pull out the showstopper too, but he's taken down, and that's going to be his showstopper taken down as well. Augie does spot at least 1 player of YorkU on the B site, but it seems like they're still going to want to push through the smoke and commit towards B potentially. The Seeker's going to go out towards mid, but Swashy's Viper's Pit just holds it down. I mean, I don't think that YorkU really want to push it. They seem to be respecting it, but Augie's all alone backside, and Luminal, he's there to get this. He's there to get his teammates back, and P does take down 1 as well, but now Nico gets the refrag onto Luminal, and now the players of YorkU, they're just both tucked towards B main, but come out on the site, and the shots from Zuma Zuma are clean as the headshot takes down Kimzo through the wall, and now it's a
30 seconds left.
Or sorry, 3v2 situation. But Augie is posted up in the spawn location, not quite finding anyone there, but the headshot does land, and that's going to be Zuma Zuma down. It's all up to Nico. He does have the Rolling Thunder available, but it's not going to matter as Swashy comes from behind. 3 Sheriff shots take down Nico, and that's going to be a beautiful retake from the side of Warriors.
Yeah, and despite York's best efforts, that was a very unfortunate round for York. I think Meliz was expecting a whole rocket to fly out, but instead a little pew, from the classic. It was so unfortunate, from the side of York.
I mean, it happens.
It happens. It happens
like,
to the best
you
of us.
can't
It happens
even
to the best of us.
Yeah, but honestly, I think that showstopper could have gotten so much value and maybe shifted the tides in the favor of YorkU. But Waterloo, they're going to take the lead for the first time this half as they bring themselves up 4-3. They have been getting so much value on these retakes. I mean, they've been so flawless when it comes to them. They've gotten the last 3 in a row.
Yeah, and Waterloo maybe showing now why this is their comfort map. They looked a little bit shaky at the beginning, but they are now hitting their stride. Meliz was that turnaround factor, with that ace that round, but looks like Waterloo has finally managed to get the momentum back on their side, and it looks like YorkU is going to be going up mid here. A very aggressive play from Striker is at half HP, 23 HP. The grenade is going to be there to support him, but Luminal has the Boombot ready, and Waterloo retreats a little bit.
When Swashy's left all alone, unfortunately, he's going to get out. York aren't able to find that pick, but they do get a lot of damage onto him, and things are looking kind of tough because now Swashy has been forced out, and the players of Warriors are looking towards B, but the spike is still mid.
And despite all that action going on, it's still going to be a 5v5 situation. Shocked, taking a little bit of a peek through his camera. But the execute is going to happen onto Heaven. That paint shell is going to get a lot of value. Luminal managed to get the shot on Zuma Zuma with the Marshall here, facing off against Augie. And it looks like YorkU has to execute soon. Nico considering using that blind, but they are now opting to go towards rope. Zuma Zuma making a lot of noise here with the Marshall. But this execute is what matters. Shocked with 64 HP, gonna be looking out for the camera.
Oh, but he needs to look out for Swashy. Because Swashy's able to get himself 2 and 3. It's all up to Zuma Zuma now, and I don't think that YorkU were expecting there to be a player there, but Swashy, he's there with the Phantom, gets himself 3, and Zuma Zuma is just gonna look to get this orb and probably die, so he doesn't have to save the Marshall. Hits 1 tripwire, finds the second, but Kimzo is there to take him down. Flawless round coming in from the side of Warriors Black, and things were almost really shady there for Warriors at the start. I mean, York had so much pressure in mid, but unfortunately they aren't able to capitalize off that. And Waterloo, they're able to get themselves a clean flawless round.
Yeah, we know that this Kimzo cam has been in YorkU, has been living in YorkU's head rent free. We saw Shocked walking into Heaven, looking out for that camera. But the real thing they had to look at was Swashy there. 10 and 5 now. Very strong KD coming from Warriors resident smoke player, Viper player. And it looks like York is going for another B take. No showstopper this time, unfortunately, for Meliz, but looks like they are going to commit heavily to it. Augie has to spot people out on this jump push. The fault line coming down. The off your feet going down onto site. YorkU looking for a fast execute. Augie teleports out of there, but P making use of the chaos, managing to secure kill before backing out. Now it's going to be a Waterloo retake. The spike hasn't been planted yet.
And Shocked is spotted out by Swashy lurking in the mid, unable to get any value. Unfortunately, Nico does take down P, and now the forces of Warriors collide as they take down YorkU, a team ace. Everyone gets their one, and that's going to be YorkU taken down. And once again, they're forced on an eco round. I mean, they just found absolutely no success there on that gun round.
Yeah, I mean, looked like they had something at one point, but, you know, P getting that kill, you know, Waterloo's meticulously retreating to get that retake. And after they get 2 picks, they just flood the site. They know they have the numbers. They know they're confident in winning these gunfights. And that was a very decisive round from Waterloo again. And now it's going to be York on the Sheriffs again. Maybe Zuma, you know, he has been using these marshals, so maybe he can get a nice pick with that gun on B. Augie's going to be being a little bit aggressive on that side, but now it's going to be a fast A-take.
Oh, but the tripwire does stop YorkU a little bit in their tracks, but unfortunately, Warriors, they don't really have an answer as they have to give up the B site, and now YorkU, they're looking happy. They're able to get the spike down, and it's a 5v5 retake. And at the start of the round, I think Nico was able to get a tag with the Marshall as well onto, or sorry, not Nico. The tag onto Augie. And now the players of Warriors, they're going to have to creep through. There's 3 players in this elbow location. The blind is unfortunately not going to go out. Kimzo with the spray down gets 2. Luminal with the 3rd on the round. Luminal gets another as well. And the players of YorkU just dwindle. And Augie gets the spray down through the smoke. I don't even know what just happened. The players just disappeared on the side of YorkU.
And that was so unlucky on the side of YorkU. I think they were looking for a surprise offensive angle with 3 people with the flash out, but they get absolutely gunned down by Kimzo and the Phantom. I think maybe that was unfortunate timing, that maybe that was diligence by Kimzo, but you know, at the end of the day, YorkU went for a play and it ends up in disaster for them. An eco round, so it's not the worst for them, but I think they definitely had a chance there.
Yeah, especially with that blind that was coming in from Nico, which unfortunately was not able to land perfectly onto Kimzo, and that allows him to get 2, as well as Luminal. And now all the players of Waterloo, they're looking so tough here. I mean, 11-5, 11-6, 10-5. It's just a tough performance. And P, 11 assists on the board. I mean, that's not something you can disregard either.
Yeah, and P has been the facilitator here for the side of Waterloo, making sure that they have all the utilities they need on these retakes. The fault line is going to force Swashi into ropes, and Maliz has somehow ended up, you know, right in Swashi's face. The grenade's going to go down. Swashi would be forced to run all the way back to A Heaven, but now YorkU has the mid control.
And Maliz has just been leading so much aggression for the side of York, and it seems like he can't really stop anyone. But Kimzo is able to find one with a tripwire. Shocked, unable to find it, and does get spotted out. That's going to be the lurk on the side of York taken down, but they do have a lot of space towards this B site, but the players of Warriors Black might meet them in spawn, and maybe a fight does go down, and Zuma does take down Augie. It's going to be a really big pick for the side of YorkU as they do bring the players back down in a 4v4. Luminal pulls out the showstopper. Unfortunately, he does go a little bit wide, and Nico is there to capitalize off of it. 2 picks for him, and Maliz does take down Luminal as well. It's all up to Kimzo now in a 4v1 situation. Things looking really difficult, but he does find himself one onto Zuma. Both binds available for Nico. They are going to delay Kimzo, but things are just looking really bleak for him here.
And York throwing the entire kitchen sink at Kimzo there, you know, making sure to delay every take away every second he has on this possible 1v3 clutch. Nico managed to go down, but he is also down to 11 HP. Luckily, he doesn't break his leg on the fall, but there's 2 members of YorkU waiting for him with open arms. Kimzo has 8 bullets and a dream. And Striker, you know, making sure that this round is not clutched up by Kimzo. And that we saw a very similar angle from last round, actually, from Warriors there, where they went for the timing push with all of the utility, you know, rushing out onto site maybe when York didn't expect it, but York very, you know, holding very good positions. The showstopper goes wide on the side of Waterloo as well, and they managed to stifle that retake very, very hard. And I think, yeah, did York even lose a member on that retake?
I think they did lose 2 of them, at least. It was Zuma and Nico. And, you know, I thought Kimzo could make something happen if he was able to land that spray on both the players that peaked.
Right.
You know, things could have gone very disastrous for the side of YorkU, but they were able to peak successfully, take him down, and they might look to bring this to 7-5, which would be a really, really important half for their side. And Striker going with the fake teleport there. I mean, he TP'd literally exactly where he was, and now he's in the heads of Waterloo. They have no idea as to where he could be. But he's sending out smokes, and Maliz, he's been leading so much aggression, but unfortunately the blind does hit him as he is taken down, and Augie and Luminal, they're holding down the B site. The paint shells do connect with Nico. He's left down on just a sliver of health, and Waterloo have held down this B site like their life depends on it.
And Nico is on life support right now. Any little light breeze can take him out. So realistically, YorkU have to make a miracle happen here. And Shocked and Nico are holding this garage play, but Warriors know where they are. Warriors very, very careful. The dog is going to come down as well. And Nico, you have to be careful. Don't bite him. And Shocked and Nico live to see another day, but it's going to be looking very, very difficult as, you know, and Kimzo chilling in A. You know, if they come my way, you know, I got him. That's what Kimzo's saying.
30
I mean,
seconds
yeah, he's been
left.
holding this A site down, like, you know, there's just absolutely no entry. And, you know, the camera is going to be taken down, but it seems like YorkU, they still want to go towards the B site here. And Shocked, he might find P if he's not careful, but he actually does find Luminal first. Nico, there with another, but Augie from behind takes down both the players. That's going to be a beautiful 8-4 half for the side of Warriors, but I think YorkU is still looking really happy. I mean, 4 rounds on attack, that's really big, and they might be able to capitalize off that if Warriors aren't careful.
Yeah, YorkU, you know, going down behind on this half, but they have not been looking behind at all. You know, they've been going toe-to-toe with Waterloo. A lot of these rounds have been very, very close. And even on that last execute round, it was looking pretty dire for them, but they managed to get, you know, they managed to show life, right? They managed to take down some Waterloo players, you know, try to, it's not looking like a one-sided stomp, and that makes this game all the more exciting. I'm excited to see what you know, both teams have in preparation coming out of the second half, especially now the Cypher on the, you know, the Cypher defense always very, very crucial on split. And it looks like York is actually going to be opting for an A-sided Cypher as well.
Yeah, and I mean, York's composition is a little less base for attack. They do only have the one controller when it comes to holding down the sites as well, but they do have that fault line available, and it does delay the players of Warriors a little bit. Zuma is looking very patient in the dark cover, waiting for a player of Warriors Black to potentially push him, but the dark cover goes down. He does spot a little bit of Luminal's body. Shots go a bit wide, but he has to back up and respect it. Here comes the paranoia, and he is blinded. Another blinding light coming in from P, and he does just jump onto Zuma there, and so does Swashy as he takes down Maliz, and Luminal with the swing is able to take down Shocked as well. Now Augie going to be caught alone against 2 players of YorkU, and Nico does get himself the pick, but Luminal is there to trade it onto Striker. It's all up to Nico now, only 22 HP left, but there's too many members of Warriors Black there to stop him. A clean pistol round coming in from the side of Warriors.
Yeah, and for a moment there was absolute pandemonium in heaven. Utility being thrown left and right. Everybody blind, everybody blinded by the birds. The dogs running around everywhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, the whole zoo was let out right there. I mean, it was difficult for any player in heaven there, but Warriors, they are able to capitalize off of all that utility, and YorkU, they're going to still make something happen. Striker maybe opts for the shorty. I mean, that would be kind of fun. I just love seeing, you know, shorties against, like, these big weapons. It's always really fun to see how the shorty plays around now. Zuma, he does have the frenzy in hand, the hero frenzy. Looking to make something happen, potentially.
And Luminal going to go for a fast push on to A. It's all up to Shock now, and Shock goes, and now it's all up to Striker with the classic and a dream. Waterloo has no idea where he is, but Striker unable to make a kill happen now, and Warriors have taken the site with 5 guns and 5 people. Maliz, but we can't forget about the hero of Frenzy.
Oh yeah,
Zuma.
I mean, they do have a little bit of a walk going here towards ramp, but Kimzo, he's there on the flank, and there's actually a tripwire there. Ready for the flank, and he does peek out, and I mean, 2 Spectres that just spray down. It's a flawless round coming in from Warriors Black, and that's going to get them up 6 rounds now. I mean, 10-4. They're looking really comfortable here if they're able to keep capitalizing off these attack rounds, but YorkU, they're ready to fight back now. We have an Odin, I think. Oh, no. The Odin would have been kind of toxic, you know. I mean, the spray down is just not fun to play against, but Warriors, they do have 5 Spectres across the board, and YorkU, they have a lot of weapons to play off of now. They have all the rifles in every member's hands, but they do have the 2 light shields. Whether Warriors are able to punish them with those light shields and get themselves some weapons, potentially make this their round, is really up to how they choose to use the utility. But Pain Shells are going to stop a bit of aggression in mid as well as the fault line. A little bit of damage onto the players of Waterloo. Not going to be enough though, but York, they have a solid hold towards this B heaven side.
Here.
Yeah, and what I want to see from York right now is to use the advantage of these guns. You know, don't give Waterloo a chance to advance on them. You know, on these, you know, with the Spectres. You know, don't let them cheese kills out of you. And we see that, like we said, 3 members of York are going to be holding heaven. The utility, it's pandemonium once again. The zoo is open for business again, but Warriors are going to retreat a little bit behind the smoke. I'm sorry, Warrior is flooding onto heaven, and Nico, the only one remaining on heaven, but because of the utility, York is forced back once more. Maliz is waiting there with the gun, but Warriors managed to secure the plant onto B site.
It's going to be a 5v5 retake situation. YorkU just have so much utility to play off of, and Warriors are going to have to be careful, excuse me, if they want to win this round. And it seems like all the players of York are gathered towards Heaven and Spawn, with both the initiators, both the flashes towards Spawn, and they are so wary of where any of these players of Warriors can be. And Striker just drops down onto Kimzo, but P and Luminal, they're able to take down 2. P finds himself a second one on the round, and now it's all up to Augie as trades have gone left and right. He is full HP, all up against, I think, a Phantom in the hands of Shocked, and the shots, they do land, but it's not going to be enough. The Phantom is the more powerful rifle there, and Shocked able to get the defuse down, but that's going to be a really costly round for YorkU.
Yeah, I mean, it looked very, very chaotic again at the beginning. Nobody dies at Heaven, but YorkU managed to get the spike down and inch out that round. But you have to remember, like you mentioned, they lost a lot of eco to that play. And now it looks like Warriors are going to opt for a full buy. And York are looking to go eco once again.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of weapons on their side either. I mean, Shocked is the only one there with Phantom. And, I mean, Striker, he does have the Guardian, but it's going to be really difficult to make anything happen there with only one rifle in hand. Because, I mean, you look on the side of Warriors, they have full rifles across the board as well.
Toxins going up.
And Swashy, you know, with another slow play coming out from the side of Warriors. You know, on split, it's all about that mid control. It's the mid control map. And Warriors are going to be posted up around mid once again. But very, very slow coming out once again. The utility is thrown into ropes. Nico is spotted out. Luminal jumps in after the dog.
The feet. The Aftershock is there to stop him, though. He is going to have to back up a little bit, actually. The blind does hit Luminal, but he is able to escape with his life and still healthy HP. But Kimzo actually gets the lurk up over to A, and now Warriors, they have so much information, and you see the judge actually, not the judge, the Guardian comes in from behind Striker. He is able to take down 2, but he is traded out by P, and the judge shots from Elise unfortunately aren't going to be enough as Augie takes him down as well. Now only 2 players on the side of YorkU left, but the Neural Theft does come in. They do know that Swashy is all alone here on the B site. Augie on just 2 health. I think he's going to have to plant safe here, and Warriors, they do have the player advantage, but here comes the heal, the regrowth coming in from P, but I think Augie's a little bit too far out of range.
Yeah, it's gotta be Zuma, and realistically, Augie dies if something just spits on him, and Zuma unable to get the kill. He is so blind now. Shocked gets 1 kill onto Augie, but Swashy manages to get the trade out, and it's gonna be 11-5 Waterloo.
Yeah, it's going to be a big round from them. They did lose a couple of weapons, but I do think they still have some economy to fall back on. I mean, they don't have a lot of ultimates either on either side, actually, but it's going to be a really costly round, actually, from YorkU. They don't have a lot of rifles to play off of either. They only have 1 rifle in the hands of Shock, and he's going to have to make something happen with that rifle.
Yep, and they're going to opt for basically a full save with a hero rifle, you know, to make sure that they can maybe start coming back on the 12-5 scoreline. Waterloo obviously has all of the guns, you know, and the kitchen sink ready. They're gonna go for a fast A take. They're gonna go rush up ramp. Nobody is there to meet. No opposition is here to meet them.
I mean, P's just leading the brigade here. He's just all the way up in Heaven. Is going to be hit by that fault line, but can only push him back a little bit. Might want to commit the Trailblazer to try and clear a Heaven. I don't know if they're aware of where Shocked is right now, and actually Augie does get caught out all alone. Shocked is going to be able to pick himself up a weapon, but Maliz actually finds himself another one too. Swashy gets taken down, and now the players of Waterloo, they seem to be falling down. As YorkU, they're able to fight back a little bit, but the shots go a little wide, but Maliz is able to capitalize off that, and suddenly it's all up to Luminal in a 1v2 situation on just a sliver of health, but he could make something happen here. I mean, YorkU, they do have 2 players available, but Shock, he's just left also on a sliver of health, and now whether or not Luminal wants to take this fight with him, he actually is able to find him, but he's left down to just 5 HP. I mean, it's a 1v1 for the raised diff.
We're going to have to be very, very good. These rockets comes out.
Oh!
Maliz takes out Luminal, but the rocket post-mortem.
Oh, I mean, from above, the rocket lands and is actually able to take down Maliz, and things were almost in favor of YorkU there. They had the player advantage, but unfortunately for them, Luminal, he's just there to stop it. 1v2 clutch for him, and that's going to bring us to match point now. YorkU, they're looking really they're looking in a really tough position here. They don't have a lot of weapons, and Waterloo, they're looking quite happy.
Yeah, and YorkU had to save last round, you know, just for this buy, and it's not even a full buy at this point. Zuma is going to be buying up the Stinger.
Oh yeah,
Full
Stinger
armor
baby.
again, Stinger baby. But it's gonna be Waterloo on the good, you know, on the front foot again. Swashy.
Toxins going up.
You know, he's been at this B standoff for I think like 4 rounds straight now.
He's actually going to be spotted up by Zuma's flash, but Zuma is going to be countered by Augie's paranoia, and he is taken down. Unfortunately, does not make anything happen with the Stinger.
Toxins going
But
back.
Swashy now looking to take the fight back to B main, and it's all of the Melees, but he does find himself one with the Vandal. Looking to push out Augie, find himself the second. The spray does land as Nico also finds himself a player in mid, and he finds himself 2 actually. Kimzo now left all alone with a Vandal in hand, but it's 3 players of YorkU Black against 1 player of Warriors, and I mean, things are just looking kind of bleak for him.
Yep, and Melee's jump peek in the corner spots out Kimzo, so everybody on York knows where Kimzo is. It's going to be their round to lose. Neural Theft coming down. On the side of Kimzo, his position is compromised. YorkU really do not want to lose this round.
Oh, no, that was Kimzo's ultimate.
Oh yeah,
actually,
Kimzo's also coming down. But YorkU really do not want to lose this round. And you know, we see Kimzo going up for a sneaky flank onto Heaven.
30
He really
seconds
wants to spike. 30 seconds. The clock is ticking down.
Oh, but Shocked is there on the other side with the Phantom, and the headshot pushes the crosshair out of his body, and that's going to be the round taken back by YorkU, and that's a really important round. They are able to get the economy a little bit back in their favor, because now Waterloo, they're forced on this economy round.
Yeah, and if YorkU, and I think definitely YorkU, they needed that round very badly. I mean, because it's 12, you know, it's 12-5, so they need it literally. But I think they really need that confidence boost. You know, winning with the gun disadvantage really gives them, you know, that momentum shift. And especially now they have a lot of ultimates ready. I don't think they should be frugal with these at all. And we see Waterloo switch it up a little bit, going for another A push. This has been historically working for them after they take Heaven, so excited to see what happens. Striker managed to get Swashy on the pit, but Luminal is waiting with the Frenzy. But Zuma manages to get the kill down. He runs up rope, but it's too little too late. Augie is the only one left on the side of Waterloo. 1 classic and a dream. 1v5. Can he pull this off? Melees!
Melees does get caught out from behind. The Classic is able to take him down. He might be able to get this Vandal in hand, but the players of YorkU are just not allowing this to happen. I mean, who's shooting where? What in the world just happened? I think Zuma's flash was able to just hit everyone on his team perfectly. And Augie actually just finds himself 1, which is, I mean, still pretty big. A little bit of economy taken off the side of YorkU, but they do still have so much economy to fall back on. But now Warriors, they're going to try and close this out. They have the rifles in their hands again.
Yeah, and Augie, they're, you know, trying to go for the Vandal desperately. Just looking a little bit like somebody who just dropped their glasses, like scrambling all over the floor. You know, where's the Vandal? Where's the Vandal? But unfortunately for Augie, it's gonna, you know, he's gonna be overwhelmed by the forces of York. And now they're coming to a B push. You know, AB.
Zuma, he's already flushed out a B main, and Warriors are looking to take some early aggression on, and P's going to find a lot of information with that Trailblazer. He knows there's almost no players towards this mid location, and the players of YorkU, they're just tucked towards B site. There's 2 players on Rafter, but it seems like Waterloo, they're going to want to just go in. Luminal finds that first satchel, is able to find 2 enemies, but he's unable to isolate a fight here. Zuma does take down Swashy after a trade, but Augie is able to take down Nico. The player's advantage does go to Warriors Black right now. Zuma, he's just stuck in his corner waiting for Shock to come and make something happen, and he does. Takes down P. Augie able to get the trade, and now, after all that pandemonium, it's 3 players of Warriors Black against 2 players of YorkU, but even still, they're fighting back. Striker takes down Kim, so it's a 2v2 situation as the spike goes down.
The dog is out. Striker jumps down from Heaven, a little bit heavy on his knees, but with the flash, he swings the corner, unable to find the kill onto Augie, and it's going to be Luminal versus Augie. A Striker 1v1 situation. Striker only having the Sheriff.
Only 34 HP left too. Luminal just needs to hit 1 shot, but that's going to be the headshot that he lands onto the head of the enemy Omen. And that's going to be YorkU taken down. And, I mean, that was a good pick. I mean, I think Waterloo just looked so dominant in that map. They had so much of their defensive aggression, or sorry, so much of their attacking aggression worked out because they were just able to get onto sites. I mean, it seemed like York wasn't able to handle it as well. Maybe they had it prepared as well. I mean, I think it's just a matter of the difference between double controller and the double initiator. I think double controller proved to be a bit more useful there. I mean, the utility coming out from P, the utility coming out from Augie, just so important there. And I mean, yeah, it was just a great map overall.
Yeah, and Waterloo showing York that that's the reason they picked that map. You know, York looks very dominant game 1, Waterloo looking very dominant game 2. It is currently a 1-1 score, and we're going to have to see which team will come out on top after this decisive final round, which we'll come back to after this break. So. And we are back to CVAL Winter. It is currently 1-1 Warriors with the comeback performance on Split. You know, they're obviously strong map, but it's going to be all up to which map now?
Ascent. It is Ascent. I mean, I feel like Ascent is one of those maps where you just see so much play of it in competitive. There's, you know, there's every single default that's been like studied. Every single dart has been found. Every single KO knife lineup. Every single Killjoy lineup. I feel like there's just no end to this map when it comes to different ways. And one of my friends put it best. It feels like Ascent is one of those maps that's been solved by Stockfish. I mean, it's just one of those maps where a lot of things happen, and you know, it feels really similar in a lot of different ways. So whether or not York decide to bring a sort of different composition than the default, or whether or not Waterloo choose to bring a different composition, whether they want to stick to the double initiator, whether they want to switch to double controller, I think it's just all up to what they feel is most comfortable. And already we see confident picks coming out from both sides. This Sova's locked on both sides as well. I feel like this is the most traditional standard composition when it comes to Ascent. You have Jet on entry, you have Omen for smokes, you have Killjoy to hold down sights, you have the KO for flashes, as well as, you know, the denial with the knife, and then you have the Sova. And I think we will potentially get a mirror comp unless Nico decides to go with this Phoenix pick, which I think would actually be really interesting. Phoenix is one of those characters where I feel like you don't see him getting played a lot, but I feel like he's so strong. I mean, those flashes are just so hard to turn. I mean, I can't dodge a Phoenix flash, I'll be honest. I just can't.
You know, my name isn't Tens, and I can't turn I can't turn the Phoenix flash. You know, I can turn the Phoenix flash, but then, you know, the Phoenix will still be looking at my back.
Oh yeah.
You know, when I turn it. And
and
so we're gonna be looking. So the Warriors looks like have opted for, you know, the traditional composition. YorkU still has yet to lock it in, but interesting to see if he goes for, like you mentioned, the Phoenix. YorkU has been playing a little bit unorthodox in the previous maps as well, going for the double initiator kind of play. So maybe we'll see the double duelist pick
Phoenix
coming out from York.
The
the Phoenix is out from Nico, and it's gonna be York switching it up once again. They have been going for the unorthodox picks the entire night. So once again on Ascent, you know, they're saying, you know, I'm gonna mess up Stockfish.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think Phoenix has still seen some success on this map. I mean, there's so much information that you can get with Phoenix as well, especially with like flashes. If you take peeks early on defense, I think it was Warriors that were starting on the attack first. I might be wrong. They might be starting defense. I think it would make more sense if they were starting defense and then running double duelists on the side of YorkU. So the Phoenix aggression comes out, you know, guns ablaze, no pun intended. But whether or not YorkU is able to capitalize off of this double duelist composition that they have is entirely up to how they choose to play around this double duelist as well.
Yeah, and I want to see, so if York is out going for the attack, I want to see those crazy aggressive plays. And it looks like it's going to be Warriors on the attack first round. So York, the Phoenix, is going to be obviously playing with his best duelist buddy Jet on A.
Yeah, the Phoenix Jet lore is like pretty cool.
It's crazy.
You know? There's like that one voice line where Jet's like, you know, can I have your jacket if you die? And I mean, it seems like Jet's the first one to die there, actually. Unfortunately, Augie is able to take down player, but Shock is there to get a trade back, and Kimzo does land a headshot as well. The players of YorkU are tucked towards this middle location. Only Zuma left towards A. Luminal's just all alone in market, maybe trying to make something happen. Does find one, finds two actually, as Shock is taken down, dashes back into Nico, and the fadeaway, he flicks off. Nico's head is taken clean off, and the spike just goes down on A. Luminal decides to respect spawn and just goes all the way back to play with his team.
Yeah, and Warriors know where Zuma is. You know, he was spotted on the B site, and especially on pistol round, he's got the frenzy again. The hero frenzy from last round has carried over.
Oh yeah.
Zuma gonna creep onto heaven. Warriors has their spider web of sightlines everywhere. The alarm bar is gonna spot him out. It's gonna be Augie getting the wall bang. Warriors with a clean attack round. Looked like Luminal was stuck in market for a while, but then he goes for the, you know, he takes out one taps the other, dashes back, wins the gunfight. Very, you know, that's the round you want to see as Jet. You know, that's the round you want to see.
Call an ambulance, but not for Luminal. He takes down those three, and I mean, the players of YorkU, I just don't think they were able to capitalize off that double swing at first, and the dash back was just so clean. He was able to take down Nico as well, and that's going to put momentum already in the favor of Warriors as they do get themselves a Vandal on the board in the hands of Luminal as well.
Yeah, and Melise has opted for a Marshall this round, and looks like the YorkU is going to be heavily stacked on the side of B, looking to make the best of their eco round, and Warriors has the spike there as well, ready to match this aggression. Zuma one taps Kimzo, a clean shot. Luminal does take out the other Jet with the Vandal, however.
Finds himself a second as well through the smoke. It's going to be both duelists on the side of YorkU taken down, but Shocked is able to pick up that Spectre, and now the players of Warriors, they know that none of the players are towards A. They have infinite space on the site, and the spike is going to go down cleanly, put in the hands of Augie so he can get closer to his ultimate as well.
Yep, and YorkU moving as a unit. The site setup is clean for Waterloo, the alarm bot, the alarm bot, the turret. Everything is ready and waiting for YorkU with open arms.
Oh, that dart is so clean. It spots out 3 of the members of YorkU, and Luminal, he's waiting so patiently on this jump up, and Shocked, he does only have a sliver of HP. He actually does find him with the wallbang and the ghost, and Luminal 4 on the round with the Vandal, and Warriors go up 2-0 on that round. I mean, things were just looking so beautiful there on their attack there.
Yeah, I mean, a nice shot from Striker to take out. Sorry, was that
Zuma?
Yeah, take out. You know, the first round of the kill. But Luminal with the Vandal manages to secure the duels on mid, and it's a free rotate for A at that point. And Waterloo managed to lock it down with the utility. Obviously, Killjoy super powerful. And that dart was absolutely
beautiful. Yeah, that
beautiful.
dart was beautiful from P there, and spots out all 3 members, allows Warriors to take the round. They just have so much information. And now, looking at the buy from YorkU, they have light shields all across the board. I mean, we haven't really talked about it yet, but the new weapon, the Outlaw, I mean, what are your thoughts on it? I feel like it's kind of one of those, I feel like it's kind of a niche gun. I feel like there's not a lot of practical usage with it, but Shocked, fighting back, is able to take down Luminal in mid. It's going to be a Vandal down, goes into the hands of Swashy there.
Yeah, the Outlaw, you know, it's one of those weapons that's so satisfying when you actually land the shots with it, but you look so silly if you miss.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're just a sitting duck reloading for like 5 seconds if you don't land those shots. And Striker, he does go unnoticed here in Tree, but the door is closed on him as the spike does go down once again for the side of Warriors.
Yep, and Phoenix has the flash out. The swing is not committed to because of the counter flash on the side of Kimzo.
Let's get the shot out, and P, once again with the dart, he's able to find so much information, but the players of Warriors are kind of just trapped on the site here, and unfortunately for York, the blind is beautiful from Warriors as they take down 2. Shocked is able to get back a trade, and the Odin is not going to be enough. Shocked tries to fight back as much as he can, but Kimzo with 3 on the round, and that's going to be Warriors taking back another round, and that's going to be the bonus in their hands as well.
Yeah, and the retake looks so difficult for the side of YorkU. All these rounds we see Waterloo take full control of the A side, and with the darts on Heaven, with all that utility they have, it looks like YorkU is getting, you know, stifled round and round again. They're kind of just panicking because there's so much going on, like on that Heaven. They have to go for alternate angles. They have to go for different plays because at this point, once Waterloo takes control of A side, they look very dominant.
Yeah, I mean, their post plan is just so nutty. They have players posted in Hell, they have players posted in main, and there's just not much that YorkU is able to do that round to counter it. And you know, they are on an eco round, but they do have some plays they can make potentially here. They do have a lot of players towards this A site. You see Zuma and Striker holding that cat location, and Luminal, he might be a little bit interested in taking a peek there.
And YorkU has been playing this B-side for a while, and Kimzo.
I mean, they just line up there for Kimzo as he gets 2 headshots onto both the players on B. I think they know that B's a little bit empty now, and still being really cautious to clear all the angles. Kimzo's waiting for his team. Luminal goes in, closes the door, and now it seems like the B side is just completely open for Waterloo.
Yeah, that's a 0-for-2 bargain deal. You don't see those every day on the side of Kimzo. And Augie with taking out Meliz as well. It's going to be a 2v5. Warriors looking very, very healthy. And that dart spots out Zuma as well, so it's going to be looking extremely difficult from the side of York to take something back. And I think they're going to try and look for kills for their eco, you know, especially with his Sheriff. But Zuma walks straight into 2 members of Waterloo. The Striker says hello to the turret. You know, Warriors are running over.
Oh, he does land the headshot there, but the Sheriff, you know, 145 from that range is heartbreaking. But, you know, Warriors, they do get themselves a clean round. I think that was a flawless from them as well. And, you know, they're looking strong. They've got a 4-0 lead on this attack on Ascent as well. And, you know, now, once again, YorkU, they have the guns in hand. The Odin in the hands of Zuma. if he's able to get a wall bang this time through B main, you know, things could look dicey for Waterloo.
Yeah, and Kimzo and Luminal have their ultimates already as well. So if they execute, you know, they can start cycling their ultimates really fast. If they opt to go for, you know, a fast execute with the super aggressive ultimate, looks like they're going to go for a top mid kind of play. P going to get the arrow down. And Zuma forced to retreat behind the smoke. A counter arrow coming out as well. Kimzo is spotted out, but the Odin is going to do too much. A spray right through the smoke with the Odin. Luminal going to be tagged up a little bit, but Warriors slowly creeping up their way to A.
And the null command is going to come out. Does nullify some of the players of YorkU, but Melise does fight back, is able to take down P, and 2 picks on each team's side now.
Yep, and YorkU has been doing a very good job of this defense. Nico back takes out Kimzo, and it's now all up to Augie. Does Zuma know where he is? Augie, check your corners. The Odin is a little bit too fast. It's too heavy, and Augie with a crazy swing onto Nico clutches up that round. A standout performance from this Killjoy.
And I think Nico just got a little bit too excited to get the pick there, was unable to land the shots as Augie stays controlled, gets that headshot, and is able to take down Nico. And I mean, they are getting the snowball rolling this time. After that first map, you know, Waterloo have been looking so strong. It seems like YorkU, they have no answer for this. I mean, Shocked seems to be the only one getting some sort of value when it comes to frags, and there's not much that the players of YorkU are able to do to handle Warriors' aggression on this attack side.
Yeah, and it looked so good for York there too, with Melise being stuck in the corner with the null command coming out. He managed to get a nice kill, you know, to stifle the Warriors' push. And it does look really good until the very end. Nico pops the Phoenix ultimate, unable to get the kill. Zuma trying to get the frag, but unable to do so. Now Warriors have full control of B. There was a really fast push. Now it's going to be a 5v5 retake situation. And Nico, the Phoenix ult is used up, so it's going to be this is going to have to be his real body that's coming to sight now. Zuma on 17 HP.
Does get flashed out by his own teammate, and Augie is actually able to take down one player flanking, and it seems like the players of B main are just too much for YorkU. Melise does find himself one onto Swashy, but he is taken down by Luminal with the Blade Storm, and 6-0. I mean, this lead is looking really strong for Waterloo right now, and once again, York, they're just on economy weapons.
Yeah, and I think that round YorkU definitely got caught with their pants down a little bit. They didn't expect the push to be that fast, and they were forced all the way back into market, all the way back into CT. Waterloo is met with no resistance on the side itself. And as we said, the retakes are what looks really, really difficult on the side of York.
Yeah, and Luminal just seems a lot more comfortable on this jetpack as opposed to the Raze. I mean, he's getting so much aggression, so much like entry information as well. I mean, you see he's just dashing in. He's so comfortable. He's not really worried. He knows that the players of York don't really have the weapons to fight, but they do have a Vandal in the hands of Shocked, which might be the difference maker in this round, but the spike does go down, and it's going to be another retake situation for York.
Yeah, and it feels like deja vu. Waterloo has swarmed the site. Melise has the knives out. The drone is going to spot him out though, however. Getting wall banged a little bit. The right click does not come through. Shock is trying to run onto site now, but Warriors are posted up everywhere. The flash is nice from Nico. Shock and Striker take out Augie Swashy respectively. P is the last one remaining on the side of Warriors. He has a Marshall and a Classic, but Zuma manages to take him out, and YorkU going to secure their first round and get on the board.
Yeah, it seems like the players of Warriors were really isolated there, as YorkU, they were able to get themselves so many 1v1 fights there and win all of them to get themselves around. And you see both the players of YorkU, they were still low on health, and potentially P could have won that. He was tucked in that corner, but YorkU, they win that gunfight and they close out their round. That's going to be the first round on the board for them, and now they finally have some weapons back in their hands as well.
Yeah, and very, very important round for YorkU to win that, especially on a Thrifty. And the gun's in their hand, the ults are ready.
Right here.
And we need to see what kind of defensive strategy they have prepared here. Now Waterloo not going to commit to a full B push again. They're going to play a little bit more slowly. Maybe we'll see more of the Dart Wars mid.
Oh, yeah. The spike is leading towards the B site, but the drone does come out on the side of A, and it seems like more players of YorkU are actually towards the side of A. They don't have any players on the B site either, and the Killjoy ultimate, the lockdown, is going to go down. It's going to force out the Hunter's Fury from Zuma, and now I think Warriors are going to want to speed up towards the B side because they know that a lot of the players on YorkU, they might be leaning towards A, and actually contact is made through the turret. The flashpoint does go out, catches out Zuma. The door is going to go down as well. And now, once again, Warriors, they've just been so perfect with these site takes. They're able to get the site and plant the bomb down yet again. It's going to be YorkU fourth in another retake.
Yeah, Nico does manage to secure a kill onto Augie on that A fight, so YorkU does have the numbers advantage, but again, it is going to be a site retake they have to pull off. You know, historically difficult against the Warriors. Knife comes out, spots out the YorkU player, disabling them a little bit, but they want to sneak in while there's still silence. The Sova comes down, is shot. They know P is here. Elise is going to have to get the kill. P retreats, Defender Killjoy coming out. The Hunter's Fury is coming out, but we see Melise dashes into P. Luminal manages to get a kill onto Zuma, but the traits are going down everywhere. Shocked. At the end of the day, it's a 2v1, but the spike is ticking down. Swashy is detained. He's unable to do anything. He has to watch as Shocked walks into his face with a classic. But the bomb goes off and Warriors manage to secure that round as well.
I mean, that ultimate, it was kind of like a little bit of a panic ultimate to try and break the Killjoy lockdown, but, you know, York, they couldn't capitalize off that space that they had, and, you know, the fighting power coming in from Warriors Black, they were able to hold down the bomb for just enough time to get that spike off as well, and now Warriors are looking really strong on this attack. They still have so much economy to fall back on, and once again, YorkU, they just don't have the money to kind of fight back. They do have a Vandal and an Odin in hand, but that's going to be all they really have to fight.
Yeah, and I definitely want to see more value come out from this Odin. I think I've seen Zuma buy this a few times on this map already, but you know, I haven't seen, you know, too many moments where that has mattered. So I want to see it. And just as I say, he gets a kill onto Luminal, but he is traded out by Swashy on this mid play, and it looks like York wants to push out. I don't know if Waterloo knows this is going to happen. Shots are whiffed, and Shocked is unable to get a kill. Kimzo actually kills Striker. The counter utility is coming out. Shock manages to pick up one. Kimzo is left on 2 HP, but now it's pandemonium in this. The flashes are everywhere. Nico swings out, gets a kill on Kimzo, but he runs out of bullets. P takes him out with a classic, and now it's 1v2. Augie with a Phantom and Shocked and Melise. Looks a little bit rough for YorkU at the beginning, but at the end of the day, the traits are created, and York is a person up on Augie with a spike on their side.
Yeah, the spike is down, and Augie does have some utility to fight off with. Gonna throw the swarm grenade. He's actually gonna swarm out Melise, and he knows that there's another player there. He spots him out. He knows he's close. Goes for the swing, and that's gonna be another clutch from Augie. I mean, he's been so good on these clutches again with that Phantom in hand, and unfortunately for York, they just don't have anything to counter him. I mean, there's so much utility there, and Melise gets flushed out. Has to use the updraft. Is taken down. You know, duck hunt there coming in from Augie, but
he's like trying to tread water, you know, trying to stay up, you know, try to jump out of that swarm grenade, and that creates a 1v1 for Augie. And like you mentioned, he's been very, very clutch, you know, in these situations.
Yeah, and Warriors, they're getting themselves the attack half they really needed. I feel like they've been practicing this map like crazy because this is an insane lead that they've taken already on attack.
And a fast execute by the Warriors. Unable to kill the Phoenix, and York retreats once again, but this is the angle they want. We've been talking about this for, you know, all this all this time now, that Warriors on this retake is impenetrable with the darts, with the utility, and I think this is exactly the situation they wanted.
And Augie's gonna take a fight with Shocked in mid. He does actually spot him out and does win out that fight, and now YorkU, they don't have that Killjoy to play off of, but Melise, he is there for the trade. Still a 4v4 situation. Run it back is going to be committed. The flash goes out. The shots are a little wide, but they do still connect, and Kimzo does take down the ultimate, but now there's only 2 players of Warriors Black remaining. They're both stuck under. Unfortunately, though, Melise is there to take him down. The flash goes out. The blind hits. The shots are going wide. The shorty is out, but no. Striker's there to deny it as the spike does get diffused and sets the score 2-8. YorkU, they're still in this. They're still fighting back.
Yeah, and I like the retake play from YorkU there. You know, they've been failing at these retakes whenever they all go heaven and they get spotted out by the utility, and they're kind of, you know, like stuck there, you know, running in circles, you know, don't know when to push out. So I like the aggression from Nico and Melise there on the door, you know, break down the door, use the Phoenix All, commit the jet dash, you know, get Warriors before they can set up on main or anything else. And I think that definitely has paid dividends. York, a very important round to them. And it's going to be another, now it's going to be a 2-8. York trying to bring this back maybe to a 4-8 half. But we'll have to see what happens as Warriors are now looking to commit to more of a B play.
Yeah, and Zuma, he does still have the LMG in the works of the Ares in his hand, and Luminal's going to be taking the fight. It's a jet on jet fight. Melise is tucked in the corner. Luminal's dash is running out though, but the smoke comes out. Shots are landed, but it's not going to be enough, and unfortunately for Shocked, he's not going to be able to land the shots. Luminal does get the headshot onto him, and that's going to be player's advantage already on the side of Warriors Black.
Ooh, and at a moment, Luminal does manage to get Zuma Zuma, but everybody else on his team has fallen. The teleport onto backside has got Swashy at an awkward angle for the side of YorkU. It looks like the Warriors are going to get the plant down, but Striker shoots P through the smoke, and it looks like a fight onto Nico is going to not go Swashy's way, and YorkU has taken another round off of the Warriors.
I mean, yeah, maybe this time it seems like York are the ones trying to channel the 9-3, but I don't know if they want to give up this round, especially because they do have all the gun advantage. I mean, look on the side of Warriors. They don't have a lot of economy to fall back on. They have 2 Bulldogs and a Stinger in hand. I mean, Luminal, he does have the Blade Storm available, which he is going to probably opt for this round, last round. So not a lot of defensive ultimates to really provide York with a lot of help. I mean, they do have the Blade Storm and the teleport available, but don't think it will be enough.
Yeah, nothing extremely impactful on the side of the ult economies. Luminal looking to creep up with the up mid with the knife. The alarm bot is there, gonna be spotted out. The blind is so good. The knife's almost disastrous, but Zuma Zuma holding down the fort with the Odin. He's forced to go back to side, but Luminal death from above as Warriors swarm B, and it's going to be another clean take onto this site. YorkU now only have 3 for the retake.
Yeah, and I mean the attack helicopter comes in the form of Luminal, and it's going to be YorkU forced in another retake situation. All 3 of the players are still towards front B. Pete does take the first encounter right there, and Striker is taken down. The blind is going to land, does take down Swashy, but Luminal there to fight back as the third as Kimzo takes down the last with the Odin in hand. The 9-3, it has been activated, but Warriors, they are up going into this defense half, and they are looking so strong so far.
Yeah, Warriors have been looking very, very strong on these attacks. So good at, taking the side and holding it down. And definitely York, we need to see what this, York can do with these double duelist picks. Maybe the Phoenix and the Jet is too much, maybe we'll be overwhelming the site, but we definitely have to see what comes out on the second half, because York, the Warriors have been, I think, choking out York on all these plays, all these strategies. York has been unable to match Waterloo at this point.
And I mean, I don't think a lot of value was gotten from Zuma Zuma with the Odin in almost any of those rounds. I think he was really dependent on trying to get a kill with like wall bangs, but it seemed like Warriors just had every single answer to that. They just didn't get wall banged, and that puts them in a really tough position. And the shock dart there from P is gonna get some early information. He's stuck in this corner now, but Augie, he is there actually to take down Nico. P's gonna take the first encounter here. The patience is there as he does get the headshot. Striker is taken down as well. Zuma Zuma, but P does have the ghost in hand, able to take down the second on the round, and now it's all up to Shock. Just finds himself all alone. He might be able to find P here, and P is caught with his pants down, but there's still a lot for Shock to do. The paranoia does go out. It does land as well, and now Shock, he's just stuck all alone in B main.
But if there's any round somebody can clutch on, it is pistol round. If they keep giving him the 1v1, Shock is going to look to try and get a kill through smoke. But with the spike here, it looks very, very difficult, and Kimzo says no.
Yeah, I mean, through the smoke, headshots right there, and Shock is taken down. That's going to be the pistol round going to the side of Warriors, and York, they really needed that pistol round, because winning this round is going to bring them back a lot. It's going to be 11-3, and they're going to really have to recover if they don't win.
Yep. I think they know that. I think they want the momentum, so they do go for the Stinger and the Marshall buys on the side of York. Especially if you have something like a Phoenix Jet, you want to overwhelm the site. You don't want to do it with a Classic. So they are opting, for a buy here against Waterloo's economy. But I think in a full frontal gunfight, definitely Waterloo has the upper hand.
Yeah, and they are going to be looking towards B. Don't know if they want to go fast here or not, but they are going to dash on. The shorty is not going to find a lot of value, though, as the players of Waterloo, they just back up, they respect it. They're going to spot out, I think that was 2 players of YorkU in main, and now YorkU, they kind of just want to respect the smoke and back off.
Yeah, they have managed to secure main, but that is not too much of an advantage, especially when Warriors have the better guns at this range. And Kimzo going to be holding down the site. Shock is going for a play, but Warriors seem to be ready with the crossfire here. Luminal spots out the play. Shock Swashy is ready, but Shock trades him out. Luminal, one for one trade. Luminal takes out 1, takes out 2, but Zuma Zuma is going to trade him back. The dart lands very, very costly. 49 HP on the side of Luminal. The dart spots him out. P is forced back as well. Nico sprinting onto site. He's completely blind, but Melise has his back with the shorty, and now looks like York has managed to secure the site. They know where Warriors are. P is here with the Ares, and York is converging onto him with the spike. But now the plant is going to be going down. The door is going to be closed. And Warriors on the retake time.
Yeah, Augie's all alone in tree. He does break down the door, but the players of YorkU, they're not looking too healthy. Actually do take a chunk of health off of Augie as well, but unfortunately for Warriors, seems like YorkU were just more dominant with their weapons that round.
Yeah, and YorkU, you know, they went for the gamble and it paid off. You know, they needed to win that round. They needed the momentum back on their side. And, you know, even with those guns, they managed to come out on top, and Warriors are now opting for classics and some sheriffs maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the shorty value that came out there from Elise was great. I mean, Nico was there to distract Kimzo, who was stuck all alone back dice, and the shorty from behind is able to take him down. They are able to get weapons in their hands and take that round. I mean, that's a clean attack round coming in from
That's the
them.
Phoenix Jet synergy we were looking for. Zuma with the dart. Elise get a nice shot onto Swashy, but Luminal with a nice shot onto Nico as well. Looks like it's going to be a 4v4 round. Aggression is stifled on the side of YorkU for now, as they look to go towards mid a little bit, get some control here. We see that the Warriors are going for the flank around A main.
And Swashy being taken down early just puts Warriors in a bit of a tough situation because they don't have those smokes available for the retake. And now it seems like the players of YorkU are already speeding up towards A. Now, Millie's almost closed the door on his teammates there. That could have been a bit disastrous, but Kimzo, he's here in main. He does get the shot onto Melise actually with the Sheriff, and Luminal there with the no-scope with the Marshall as well, and Zuma, he's all alone in hell and drops down Luminal with the Marshall. He's able to take him down, and Augie is there with the trade as well, and Warriors Black, even though they were on the back foot that round, I think Luminal just went absolutely crazy there with the Marshall. I mean, the first opening pick and that second shot was so clean too.
Yeah, Luminal making the Marshall look like a judge at that range. Right? You know, you would think that gun would be bad to close range, but Luminal making it work. You know, jumping down from heaven, managing to secure that round for the Warriors. And, you know, York's eco is not too terrible right now, but you know, especially at a 4-11 scoreline, that's not the guns you want to buy.
Yeah, and I mean, Warriors, they have all the rifles in hand. They do still have a Guardian and a Bulldog in hand, but it's still a lot better than what York has right now. I mean, they still have the Sheriff and the Marshall, but don't discount the Marshall. We've seen what Luminal can do with it. Whether or not York is able to emulate that, you know, could be the deciding factor of this round.
Right, and we see that York has opted for a very, very heavy B hold with 4 members, you know, sitting there, and Warriors are looking to just choke out York here with their better guns. And Melise, one of the people with these rifles, looks like York is going to opt for a mid play. A flash is made. The execute is going down. Augie knows where they all are. And the dart goes down, the flash goes down. Augie goes out for a quick peek, is not killed, manages to take out Nico. Kimzo throwing the utility in there to stifle the York push. York really need to make something work here now. But they have to retreat in face of all this utility. But Zuma going in here with the aggressive Odin. Augie is waiting for him. Another nice shot means that York has not made too much progress on this mid push, but they look committed. They look like they really, really want to have to. Jet is spotted out, and York have to make a decision here with 30 seconds on the clock. Are they going to go A? Are they going to cat?
And they're about to be met by the end of Luminal's barrel, actually, and Swashy's there to take first contact, and they don't expect a second. Luminal's there to take him down. It's all up to Melise. Only 23 HP left, and the shorty from afar. The shots are able to land on the Melise as Luminal does take down the last member of YorkU, bringing us to match point, a 12-4 scoreline. Waterloo are looking to bring this home right here, right now.
And name of the game, Melise with the Vandal. Shocked and Melise with the Vandal. You know, this is a desperate situation. They're basically backed into a corner now, and they really have to make a push work. Last round, they go for a heavy mid commit, but they are unable to kick out Augie at the end, and that makes all the difference.
I mean, yeah, Luminal has just been so dominant this map. You've seen him get so much value from this Jet pick, and he just looks so much more comfortable than he was on the Raze. And I think that's been a big deciding factor for the Warriors' success this map, as well as P on the Sova. I think the utility with the darts and the information that he's been getting has been providing his team so much information, alongside Kimzo on the KO as well. I think the information side from Warriors is really strong, and P showing Zuma how to use the Odin as he does pick him off through the smoke, and that's going to put Warriors already at an advantage in this last round.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Zuma. You know, he's been the one trying to make that Sova Odin combo work the whole game, but P managed to take him out, you know, with a taste of his own medicine at the end there. And York, A player down, guns down, looks very dire for them.
Maybe Striker might be able to make something happen with the Sheriff if he does spot out Luminal, and contact is made, but Luminal is playing so disciplined. Activates the dash, he wants to take the peek. He doesn't know that Striker's actually crossed, which might be the deciding factor, but the paranoia actually does hit Luminal, is still able to take down Striker, and now YorkU, they're left down to just 2 players. It's just up to Shocked and Nico against 5 players of Warriors Black, who do have the ultimates available on their side. Swashy able to take down Nico. It's all up to Shocked now. Finds himself one, is actually hit by the Hunter's Fury from downtown. The Hunter's Fury from P is able to take down Shocked, and YorkU, they fall at the hands of Waterloo Black. We were able to roar louder than them, but YorkU, they put up quite the fight. I mean, they were so dominant in that first map. We saw, you know, how uncomfortable they were able to make Waterloo in so many situations, but Waterloo, they didn't give up, came back on that second map, and then just put out an incredibly dominant performance on Ascent we saw there. I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, Luminal getting so much value, P getting so much information along with Kimzo, Augie along with his utility. I mean, they just played so well. Like, they were like a well-tied knot, just holding it all down together.
Right, and I think that last round showed Waterloo's preparation, the amount of practice they have on the map. Like you said, Ascent is a map that is very, very, you know, solved in a way. And I think Waterloo, because they've practiced it so many times, the executes are so clean, the utility is perfectly placed. And York, you know, despite their best efforts, is choked out by just how much experience Waterloo has on that map, and how much, you know, they're confident with taking these executes, you know, taking these free takes, doing these post-plant setups. And ultimately, you know, it was a very, very close series, but Waterloo's the one to come out on top.
Yeah, and I think York, you know, applause to them. They put out a great fight against as well. A lot of the rounds were just so close, and props to them for bringing out the unorthodox pick with the Phoenix. I think it still was able to get a pretty decent chunk of value despite them not able to close out the last series. But, you know, for the first broadcast, I think those were very exciting. I think having all 3 maps played out, you know, it's fitting for it being our first broadcast. Yeah. But yeah, just a very exciting map, very exciting series overall between YorkU Black, the Battle of the Bees, you know.
Battle of the Bees.
Battle of the Bees. So we'd like to thank you guys all for coming out and watching as well. Thank you for supporting all the teams that were here as well. I'm Xerix.
I'm Puffball.
And we will see you guys in the next broadcast. Thank you guys for watching.